Hello, I'm the DM, and you're listening to Campaign 2 of Fools and Flagons, The Tales of Archeron. We livestream on Twitch at twitch.tv/foolsandflagons. That's fools, the letter N, flagons, every Friday at 7 p.m. Central for Tales of Archeron and 6 p.m. Central for Storm King's Chaos. If you'd like to join our community and talk not just about D&D, but other games as well, consider joining our Discord. The links can be found below in the description. Do you like us? Like, really, really like us? Consider donating to our coffee page at ko-fi.com/foolsandflagons. The links can also be found in the description. Donations and memberships are never required and always appreciated. We have no gated content for members only, and all proceeds go straight back into making Fools and Flagons an even better experience, and it helps to keep the podcast alive and well. Are you ready for some D&D? All right then. Grab your drinks and raise your glasses. It's time for the Fools and Flagons podcast.
Grab your drink and raise your glass. Make a mess and kick some ass. Dungeon Master has no chance. It's time for Fools and Flagons. Raid the dungeons and slay the dragon. Sharpen your sword and prep your wagons. There'll be death and tons of magic. It's time for Fools and Flagons. Time for Fools and Flagons. It's time for Fools and Flagons.
Well, hello everyone. Oh, James is back. Cool. Hello everyone and welcome to Fools and Flagons. This is a D&D game campaign thing made up entirely by me where my players do fun, silly things. We struggle with technology and we generally try to have a good time. So, gonna get through some quick announcements here really quickly. Get to the boring ones first. We want to thank you all who are watching us live for your follows, subscriptions, and bits. We do apologize that we cannot and will not recognize them verbally for the sake of not interrupting the story. But we got plenty of people here that won't pay attention and will be looking in chat anyway. And, what? But your support of us is always very, very much appreciated. And I want to give a super big thank you to Martyr, Gelatinous Cube, Cargo, and Spazoid for being our tavern patrons over on our coffee page. Your support of us is very much appreciated and we cannot thank you enough. If you'd like a spot at the bar with these lovely people, consider supporting us on our coffee site. Any and all proceeds go to making Fools and Flagons a bigger, better, and more awesome experience. And also, if you like that intro song, you should go check out Nick Black. He's a really good friend of ours and he does good shit.
Prince.
The Potassium Prince. And last little announcement, you may notice that someone is missing and someone new is here.
It's me!
It's inverted.
So Brick Zeke has decided to step away from the table until he can get a more consistent schedule and kind of get his life sort of figured out enough where he can properly make the time. And in his absence, we have brought in James, who will be playing a new character with us a little bit later on tonight. As he just smiles. He has played quite a few one-shots with us in the past, so you've probably heard and or seen him before. So yeah, we're excited to have him here and see what sort of shenanigans he can get into with everybody. So, does anyone have anything else they would like to talk about or announce?
I like hot chocolate.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a solid no, then.
There's too many cats on me.
Hey, hey, at least it's shifted, okay? It's shifted to the other room.
I was saying I can't wait to see Boba go from one side of the screen to the other and then appear in the next room going from one side to the other. Just making a loop.
I was going to say something inappropriate, and I'm not going to anymore.
Well, when has that ever stopped you?
James gets all the pussy.
Oh, well. I mean, I did ask. Okay.
I was going to not say it. I was going to behave. Ooh, DM's like, why don't you say it anyways?
I never said, why don't you? I said, when has that ever stopped you? Totally
Yes.
different.
Potato, tomato.
Okay, well, grab your drinks and raise your glasses. It's time for Fools and Flagons.
Cats.
Water.
Oh, that's a big chunk of whipped cream. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Tums.
Did you say Tums?
Yeah.
Okay. So, picking up where we last left off, the Tempests had been fairly naughty in the Takatari dynasty, murdering a sizable amount of Redguards who were attempting to apprehend them under the orders of the Shogun's Chief Advisor.
Allegedly.
After some hefty reprimanding from their acquaintance/kidnapee, Tanaka, Kasumi decided that she would turn herself in the next morning. This was a lie, however, as Kasumi slipped off in the middle of the night to return the medallion personally. Successfully slipping into the palace grounds, Kasumi was unaware that she had been followed, and a short Benny Hill scene occurred where she tried to shake her pursuer. That is, until he threatened the safety of her friends. Submitting to the Kenku, Kasumi was brought before the Shogun, and the medallion was returned to its rightful owner. Much to her dismay, Kasumi was not allowed to speak her mind and attempt to explain her decisions, and was instead thrown into the Yamadoku Prison to await her fellow Tempests who had been ordered captured by the Shogun himself. With surprisingly little hostility, the Tempests were apprehended and brought before the Shogun. And though he wished them executed, the Chief Advisor Okazaki convinced the Shogun to make use of their skills instead with community service. Their first task: retrieve the moss that grows under the Weeping Sequoia and bring it to the harbor town that is currently quarantined and suffering from a plague. So we rejoin the Tempests now as they make their way west towards the Yutsushige lumberyard, where these sequoias are supposedly able to be found. Tanaka is traveling with you, but it doesn't seem that he has any interest in getting onto the wagon himself. As you left the city, he grabbed a pack that seemed sizable enough for him to last out on the road for a decent amount of time. And upon arriving at the wagon itself, he stands outside and... So, we going to head off, or do you need a minute to prepare?
You hopping on?
I'll walk.
Alright, you're lost.
Can you keep up?
I'll manage.
Okay. All right, let's go. I was just gonna get on.
Kasumi's already in the cart and sitting by the window.
Mariko?
Riko's gonna perch up on the bench with Pez.
Okay. So, Mariko and Pez are up in the driver's seat. Kasumi is... I'm assuming you were sitting in the front bay window or one of the side windows? Okay.
In the front bay.
And Zon, you're
Bay
feet
window,
up.
baby.
Bay window? Okay.
Ah, yes, feet up, relaxing, enjoying the ride.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I had level 4 exhaustion. And that
Level
I'm
4?
very hurt.
He didn't sleep the night before.
And then got zapped.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, Pez looking very haggard, probably needing a hand up.
Yep.
Gets in the front seat. And assuming you instruct Cassie where to drive the wagon,
That way.
do you even know which that way that is?
Nope. I'm dying.
Pez is on the bench, point straight up, going, that way.
Riko's just gonna take a nap. Take a nap.
We dead.
Tanaka is down on the side of the road and he overhears Pez making a bit of a fuss, and he calls up to you, Mariko. Just take the main road, as far west as you can go. When you reach the end, we'll make a slight left. Probably take us a few days to get there.
Go, Cassie. Please.
Wait, Kasumi, where are you again? Sorry.
She's sitting by
beside
the
you.
bay window.
She's in one of the two big cushioned chairs like what you're sitting in, looking through the front window.
As we go, so I'm just gonna reach over. Well, whichever chair. Just poke. Hey, Kasumi, how you doing?
You poke her and she doesn't physically respond.
I'm not
She's
poking
very-
hard.
Well, regardless, she is sitting there blankly staring out the window. And she takes a minute and she just kind of sighs and she's like, not great.
So I'm just gonna awkwardly reach over and pat her on the shoulder. I'm sorry you're not feeling that great, but I think we'll get through this. It just puts on like the most like most awkward smile that he possibly can.
She doesn't even turn to look at you, but she doesn't fight you for trying to touch her on the shoulder. She just blankly staring out the window.
Okay. With Mariko's instruction, Cassie does a successful 3-point turn. Begins heading on to the west. Tanaka seems to be keeping pace relatively well. A slight jog. You don't see him struggling too terribly much to keep up for those of you that are up high and able to see him down at the side of the wagon. Is there anything any of you would like to do during your journey?
Sleep.
Cat furniture.
Okay, so Pez is sleeping as much as koboldly possible. Anyone else?
I can help.
No,
What,
my
help him sleep?
snoot is in my
Uh-huh.
hat. Nope, I'm good. Actually, I just suctioned myself back into the cushion.
Hey, Cassie.
Yeah.
Can you go a bit faster?
Well, sure, but won't you leave your boyfriend behind?
I want to give him a little bit of a harder time.
Okay.
She,
Just slightly. Not
the wheels
too much,
start to
just
turn
slightly.
just a little bit faster and just kicks up a little bit of dust, and you see him like start to lag behind a little bit, and then you kind of see him realize that he's drifting behind, and he's starts to keep pace. He kind of zoned out a little bit as he was jogging along.
This is a good pace, Cassie. Thank you.
Okay. Want me to hit him with the door?
Only if he makes any more snarky comments.
Aye, aye.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
Riko's just scanning the horizon for any movements anywhere.
Okay. Those of you that are awake, if you want to make a perception check as you're traveling along, you may.
Okay.
Pez, that means not you.
We're going to use the Sigi place, the forest right around that.
Yeah. It's Yutsu Shige. I can spell it for you if you like.
Oh, I
I
got
got
the
it
map
as well.
Oh,
13
right. I
on
forgot you guys
perception.
had actually gotten the map after like a week of being in the city.
No, we have the giant map in the card of the world.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I got a 13 for
13?
perception.
Moriko?
27.
27. Zon, were you not looking out?
Oh, fuck no. Zon's relaxing.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Sorry.
No. That's perfectly fine. Much like your initial trip into the country, it is a barren stretch of land. Not a whole lot has really changed since you first came through. You do eventually on your first day pass the massive sinkhole that you had encountered the four gentlemen looking down into. There's no one else around. Cassie goes around the hole easily enough, and you continue on way on into the evening.
So, real quick, how many days is it going to take us to get there?
Tanaka said 3 to 4.
Okay, tomorrow I do want to do something. But...
Okay. So, evening comes rather quickly, whether just out of sheer boredom and lack of really paying attention to the time of day passing or being preoccupied with your thoughts. Before you know it, it is becoming nighttime. So, Cassie is still going along at her usual pace, and it's around now, Mariko, that you would hear Tanaka huffing and puffing a little bit, and he calls up, "Do we plan to stop for the evening? Or are we going to keep going?"
Fuck, I'm not the one to make this decision.
What are you going to ask?
You're the only
y'all
one
are
up.
both inside.
Yeah.
Actually, all three of us are inside if you want to really get technical about it. One of us is just inside
A cushion.
And then my snoot is like poking through the cushions.
He's
to breathe.
periscoped in the chair.
And he is just out.
I mean, Pez has to breathe still. Cassie, can you ask the others if we want to stop for the night? Please.
Okay.
Kasumi and Zon, you hear Cassie's voice speaking from the general furniture around you.
Mariko wants to know if we're gonna stop for the night or keep going.
We can stop.
What? Why?
Then the wheels
Tanaka-
come to a stop.
He's walking.
And whose fault is that?
Thank you, Cassie.
Yeah.
As the wagon comes to a halt, Mariko, you can hear the panting and wheezing of Tanaka as he's just hands on his knees, just okay.
Mariko just has a Cheshire grin. She's just gonna like boop Pez's snoot.
Emerge.
So considering that Pez's frills had the water enchantment still on it, one is just plastered to the side of his head.
You should probably go inside and go eat.
Food sounds nice.
Go eat. Go drink some water.
Water.
Pez, you would have gotten a long rest being buried in the cushion, so you can get rid of one of your points of exhaustion.
Kasumi's gonna step outside the cart.
Okay. As you step outside, Tanaka has already moved to the side of the road and has deposited his pack and seems to be pulling out his own gear.
She's gonna walk over to him. Are you not coming in the cart for night?
He doesn't turn to look at you. He stays focused on his task as he speaks. To be quite honest, I have very little interest in interacting with any of you. If not for the Shogun's orders, I would not be here.
Is that all you brought with you? She looks at the bag.
I assure you this is more than enough for the journey we have ahead of us.
She's gonna huff, and then she's gonna walk over somewhere close to him, just kind of off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to put down her pocket campsite and activate it and then walk back.
Walk back to him or walk back to the wagon?
Walk back to the cart. Like
Okay.
she's going to put it down, activate it, and then walk away and go inside.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything?
I
Apart
am.
from extricating Pez from the cushion.
I'd like to go to the... One second. Sorry. Hot chocolate's a bitch. I'd like to go to the pantry,
Okay.
flip it over to Fern's place,
Okay.
and stick my head through.
Okay. You stick your head through the entryway. You sense nothing amiss.
Does my head exit the other side?
You go through.
I will cautiously... I'll step all the way through it.
Okay. Nothing different happens from all the other times you've done it.
Oh, thank God I can still get food here. So I'm just... What? Is it light over there, or is it still kind of dark for them, too?
In the little tunnel hallway that you've stepped into, you can see light coming around the edge of the door that would lead into Fern's cafe.
Let me go in and see if I can find Fern.
Okay. You step in through the door, a little alarm bell jingling, and you hear the healthy buzz of the early morning breakfast goers that are in the cafe. And you can hear and smell the telltale signs of Fern's cooking in the next room over.
I'm bringing food back with me. So I was just gonna go up to where he's familiar with Fern cooking and poke his head in. Guten Tag.
Oh, I thought I heard the bell. You've got a fancy piece of jewelry on today.
We need to talk about that, actually.
Well, I'm afraid I don't have too terribly much time to talk. We're open today for breakfast and such, so I'm a bit busy.
I don't need you to talk too much about Zakara yet. I do need you to get me two things, because we're going to be in some dangerous areas, and I want something to help us. Can you pick me up a couple scrolls? Money is not an object, or of no consequence, if whatever's more accurate.
He kind of is looking back at you and is like doing a little pan fry to like flip some eggs and stir it around. Honestly, depends on the scrolls. I could see if Otis has any of what you're looking for, but depending on what the scroll is, we may not have them.
See if you can talk to Otis. I need 2 or 3 scrolls of anti-magic zone.
Interesting. What sort of beasties are you facing that you would need such a scroll?
Especially
Especially considering your own talents.
I don't know. And to be completely honest, seeing where we're at, it might be magical related. And giving one to a few people for safety's sake, or
Real quick, how many did you say you wanted? 3? Okay.
just in case.
Got it.
And Zakara will talk about later. I'm not going to bother you while you're busy. I'll do that at another time.
I mean, I'll see what I can do. Give me a few days to take a look-see around. That's a bit of an odd one to get me hands on, but maybe Otis has some squirreling around or laying around, or maybe the Grandmaster might have one up in his tower if we can get him to figure out how to get out of it.
Time is of no essence. We are going to be running some tasks for some people here. No big deal. I will stop bothering you. Actually, sausage and bacon, whatever time it takes in whatever order. I need to...
He's still stirring the eggs, and he just takes a spatula and he just points at a tray to the side where there's some pre-made. Go on.
I will tell everyone that I guess you said hi. And yeah, thank you.
Wish him well for me.
I will be more than happy to. And Zahn just takes enough for...
He just gets his shirt, just shovels it on.
and gets enough for hoity-toity dude outside too.
Okay. So,
Thank you, friend.
of course, anytime. Good to hear you're all still alive and kicking.
Okay, I'm out.
Okay. Zahn returns back to the cart, and instantly your nostrils are assailed with the smell of cooked breakfast meats.
Who wants breakfast for dinner?
I'm gonna like crawl up from between Zahn's legs.
Did you fall asleep in Fern's hallway or something?
I will commit a war crime.
Mariko stayed up on the bench. She's staying up outside and keeping watch.
Well,
Okay.
I'm going to give whoever's inside the cart a portion and then obviously walk outside, and whoever's not in. I will wait for... I forgot his name already.
Tanaka?
Last.
Riku.
Yes. Same difference. Same person, I think.
Yes.
Mariko, you have seen Tanaka outside setting up his own little campsite. Though Kasumi did throw out the magical campsite bag, he's started his own little fire pit. You saw him take quite a bit of time to pull the dry reeds away and make a big open area for how dry everything is. Found some stones, made the little pit around it. And it doesn't seem that he has a tent. He just has a sleeping bag of sorts. But he seems to be cooking whatever he brought with himself. And Zahn, you would see this as well. He's sitting there, not so much looking... He's not looking away, but he's not looking at the wagon either. He's kind of keeping everything in his peripheral vision, but he doesn't seem to be, like, watching it specifically.
I guess I'll go up to Mariko. Or jump up to Mariko. I have you dinner.
Thank you.
It's from Ferns. Wait, have you been to Ferns yet? I feel like you've been to Ferns.
You guys took me once.
Yes, that's right. I totally remember that. But here's some food for dinner.
Thank you. I'll stay outside and keep watch for now.
Okay. I'm going to go see
Tanaka.
Yes, that one.
So I know that you can't remember his name, but I also love the idea that Zahn just refuses to remember his name as well.
He'd probably be a
yes.
little extra hungry because I made him jog a bit faster than he was originally planning.
Zahn looks over. Yeah, he can have his food and some more. I'm gonna go see Tambourine.
Janimi.
Woman!
It's giving the same vibes.
I don't care as much about Tanaka, though.
Yeah. So Zahn's gonna, after giving
Moriko.
Marika, thank you. Jeez, today's not my day. Apparently, the hot chocolate makes me a brain loss. I'm
is
gonna
sad,
walk
dude.
up to Tanaka and be like, "I have more food for you."
It may be appreciated, but I have no need for it. Keep it for yourselves.
No, I'm going to leave it out here. If you choose to not eat it, that's on you. Put a plate down next to him.
He kind of gives a non-committal grunt.
It's okay. If he doesn't eat it, it'll just distract animals and probably stop one way or the other.
And Mariko won't scare them off this time.
Just be careful out here. I don't know what is out here. And as this is your country, there's no lack of strange things happening here.
Your concern is appreciated. If only it could have come sooner.
So I just shrugs and walks off.
Okay. Anything anyone wants to do for the evening?
Food coma.
Easily attainable.
Just munch on my dinner and keep watch.
Okay. Kasumi, anything?
She's gonna eat, but then she's gonna stay in the main room by the front window.
Okay.
Once like we're ready to bed down, she is gonna try to get some sleep, but she's gonna stay in human form.
Okay. Pez, are you Pez posing?
Oh, I'm Pez posing.
Okay. So, with relatively full bellies, the night goes on fairly without incident. Mariko, are you staying up, or are you doing your 4-hour nap partway through and then keeping watch the rest of the time?
She's gonna stay up until about midnight, take a little quick nap, and then wake back up.
Okay. A few hours before midnight, Tanaka snuffs out his own little campsite fire, and you see him go over to the campsite that Kasumi had birthed from the bag, and tries to put the fire out, but it won't stay out. And he just kind of, you see him just being just sighing, and you see him wanting to just scream, but he doesn't. You just, it's kicking dirt on it, and it kind of fades, but then comes back to life, and eventually he just throws his arms up, goes back to where his sleeping bag is, and just goes and lays down.
Rip.
Get fucked.
Apart from Tanaka's little temper tantrum, the night is quiet, eerily quiet, and the two moons are still relatively dark. The one is getting almost half full, but there's no insect noises. There's the occasional breeze that makes the dry grasses kind of scrape and rub against itself. No animal calls. It's strange, especially from you having lived in the wilderness pretty much your entire life and had some sort of noise of nocturnal creatures, for there to just be nothing. It's still very unsettling.
I don't like this.
Soon enough, dawn begins to come through. Sun rising in the east. Onto your back, Mariko, since you're kind of facing west. And you hear Tanaka begin to rouse himself, rolling up his sleeping bag, packing away his own utensils. The campsite that Kasumi had thrown out sucks itself back into its pouch, and you see Tanaka fall backwards in startlement into just a little of dust from where he lands. He gets up, dusts himself off, kind of glances quickly at you, and then looks away almost as quickly as he had glanced at you, and just seems to be getting himself ready for another day's travel.
Does the pouch look like it'd be small enough for Fluff to pick up and carry?
It's like a backpack.
Is it?
It's sort of like a purse, so Fluff would maybe be able to bite it and drag it, but he wouldn't be able to fly with it.
Okay. Reiko's gonna go down and pick it up before going back up into the bench.
Okay. As the morning comes by, what are the rest of you doing?
Kasumi's gonna go outside
Mhm.
and look for her pack. That's not there. She's
Kasumi,
gonna
I
look-
have it.
Okay.
She's literally holding it up.
She's looking where it was. She looks at Tanaka, and then she hears you, and she goes
She's
back
literally
over.
just me.
She just slowly walks over to Mariko and holds her hand out for it.
Happily gives it back. He didn't use it, by the way.
No?
He had a little temper tantrum trying to put out the fire.
He's so stubborn. Alright. Well, are you okay out here?
Call the kettle black.
I'm fine with staying out and keeping watch. I also wanted to make sure that Pez got his rest, because getting zopped like that is not fun.
Yeah. He's still in the cushion.
No, I sent him inside last night to go get food, and I don't think he came back out, so...
Alright, well, if you need to trade out, just let me know. I'll be inside.
Okay. I will, but for now I'm fine with keeping watch and keeping an ear out for any snide comments and make him go through his paces a bit more.
Don't be too hard on him.
We shall see.
Kasumi just like softly laughs before she goes back inside, and it's the first time she's laughed since all this has happened. But she just quickly goes back inside and sits by the window.
Once Mariko is sure that everyone is inside and settled, and aside from Tanaka, she's gonna ask Cassie to please get moving.
Okay. The wagon begins to move once more. Tanaka starts to jog, keeping pace. He definitely seems a little bit more worse for wear in the first hour or so that this has been going on. He keeps glancing at the wagon to see if it's going to speed up again. And at one point, Mariko, you do hear him sort of talking to himself, but it's in a language that you can't understand. But
You're just gonna just silently huff and be like, God damn it.
as the day goes on, Mariko, a few hours into the day, you see a new sight on the horizon. A structure on the side of the road begins to come up. It's about 100, 200 feet off the road. And getting a bit closer, it looks just like a house with maybe a small shed or maybe a food storage, like drying kind of shack. Getting closer still, you see what looks to be a family sitting out in the front. A man and his wife and a little child running around in the front yard. Could not have timed that any better.
Apparently a dog too.
Yeah, there's a dog in there, sure, why not? And as you get a bit closer, they lift their hands and wave, and you hear Tanaka call out to you, Mariko. Can we stop for a moment?
Cassie, can you please stop?
The wagon comes to a slow rolling stop. Kasumi, you being in the front window, you would see Tanaka crossing in front, going to the other side. Make a perception check for me, Mariko.
Real quick, did I lose another point of exhaustion?
Yes.
It's gonna be a 24.
24. This place seems odd. The house and the shed are dilapidated. Boards are missing. The fence post seems to have not been very well taken care of. It kind of makes sense for the general state of the country as a whole that you have seen. But what catches your eye is that the family seems relatively healthy and hale. Their clothing, not necessarily like spotlessly clean, but it doesn't really seem to match what you're seeing. And Tanaka is calling out to them and speaking back and forth in the Takatari dialect.
Cassie, can you ask Kasumi to come out here, please?
Sure.
Because I don't know what they're saying.
Kasumi, you do hear Cassie kind of close to you, so it's almost as if only you can hear it, except for maybe Zon and his fucking radar dishes, depending on where he is.
Your thing.
Mariko wants to talk to you up top. Tanaka's the boyfriend. He's doing something weird.
She doesn't waste any time because she was already a little alerted by the fact we stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So she just quietly gets up and walks out and walks around to Mariko.
So
That place
Kasumi's
doesn't
down
look
on the
right.
ground in front. Mariko's up in the bench. So
Mariko is gonna jump down and just be like, that place doesn't look right. I don't know what the fuck they're
Oops.
saying.
So Kasumi's gonna immediately try to start listening to see if she can hear any of the conversation.
okay. It's not difficult to hear. There's not a lot of noise that would distract you. They're not shouting, but they're also not being quiet. Tanaka seems to be generally checking in on their well-being, how they're doing, commenting on the state of their home, if there's anything he can do to help. It seems that really only the man is speaking, saying that they're perfectly fine. If he's hungry, he can come in and he can get something to eat before he continues on his journey, and kind of looking over Tanaka's shoulder at you and saying that, you know, you and your companions are all welcome to come in and grab a bite to eat.
She's gonna kind of step closer to Tanaka. Is there a reason we're stopped?
He holds a hand up to the gentleman he's talking to and kind of looks over his shoulder at you and just kind of has this, like, why you bothering me kind of look. I'm checking in on my countrymen to make sure that everything's okay.
But they just said that they're fine.
I'm trying to be hospitable.
Okay. Well,
So
we
I would
checked
kindly
on
ask
them.
you to wait.
It's like she straightens up her posture and she just crosses her arms underneath her chest and just looks at him.
Thank you. Now, and he turns back to the person he was speaking to. Again, exchanging pleasantries, and he glances over his shoulder at Kasumi. I think I might just take him up on his hospitality. I'll be back in a moment, he says in a very haughty sort of way, and he follows the gentleman into the house.
Kasumi doesn't move. She stands right there and just keeps a very close eye on the family and how they react when he walks closer.
The family waits for Tanaka to go inside, and they follow in after him. The woman kind of
Rika's-
grabbing the child and kind of looking back at you, and gives you a pleasant enough smile, if maybe a little bit reserved. I mean, you are a creature with 9 tails. That's not exactly normal. And, you know, there's a highlighter behind you.
Rude?
Tell me I'm wrong.
So we forgot to put the cap
We
on.
do look like a circus act, let's be real.
Yeah.
Son sticks his head out. I took offense to that.
Once they close the door, Kasumi is going to go into fox form and try to creep closer and try to see if she can search the perimeter, look for anything that looks or sounds suspicious.
Okay.
And Mariko's
Um,
gonna ask Fluff to go, like, try to peek into windows to see if Fluff can see what's going on.
Okay. Kasumi, are you sneaking?
Yeah.
Okay, so make a stealth check for me, please.
Okay. Nat 20.
Of course. So, thankfully, it's the middle of the fucking day.
Mhm.
And you are bright fucking white. So, when you shift into your form, you just basically poof into the dry, dead leaves and just melt into them. You sneak along, and Mariko, you send Fluff up in to look through the windows. The windows are dirty, grimy, very, very hard to see through. The interior, at least upstairs, doesn't seem to be lit at all. And And Kasumi, you sneaking around, you can hear the voices inside. Seem to be having general pleasant conversations. There's no anger or anything. There's the movement of cutlery. Nothing seems terribly out of the ordinary that you're able to see at the moment.
She is going to maintain her location, keeping close to see if she can hear until she has eyes back on Tanaka.
Okay. A few minutes go by. And Mariko. You hear the sound of grass moving behind you.
Immediately turn around to look.
You turn to look, and you see a figure walking towards you. James, would you describe your character for me, please?
Oh god.
You can do that. So, see, is a 7 to 7.5 foot tall, ill-skinned orc with white hair done in a Viking top knot, that trails down the back, various coats and a high collar, sort of rest around ears, which are heavily pierced, long, like piercings. The eyes may draw your attention the most, as they are pale and lifeless, as if I was blind. There's miniature bones that are strung together, sort of epitaphs that string down my coat of arms. A chained book with rusted locks that rests on my hip. That's what you see.
Mariko's immediately on edge, like, who are you?
Yeah. I'm looking for someone. I am Laken.
And who are you looking for?
I'm looking for the Tempest.
Why would you want to look for a wind phenomenon?
You do not understand my meaning. We are a group of stalwart warriors that have done many great things across the sea and here as well. I've been following for some time.
And why would you be looking for them?
I hear they are good at
Discord, cut that out.
I hear good they are good at killing evil.
Is the door to the cart still open?
If Kasumi didn't shut it, yeah.
Kasumi, did you shut the door?
No.
Okay. I'll pop my head out. Somebody say killing evil.
God damn it, son.
What? We're good at killing evil.
Kasumi,
Dungeon Master,
Yes.
would I know that there is a bunny that travels with this group?
You would know at the very least that they are a very eclectic bunch.
Yes.
That they are all incredibly unique in their own aspects. There's only one in the group that you are aware of that's relatively common.
Which one would that be? The lizard?
Yes.
Pez? Yeah, I was about to say. I'm trying to think of like elf. I mean, like elves aren't really that common. Yeah, it's got to be Pez.
Highlighter elf, multi-tailed fox, bunny.
Giant
Lizard.
robot man.
I mean, to be fair, I actually don't know. No, because across the seas, they wouldn't know of Mariko yet.
Kasumi, what's your passive perception?
Good question. It is... 1 second.
Hold, please.
It's
13.
That's
13.
different.
Okay. As you are crouching down and you're listening to the muffled chatter from inside the house, you hear excited words coming from Zahn and some other conversations from Mariko, but there's another voice that you kind of heard, but you weren't really paying attention, and then you realize that that's not a voice that you recognize.
She, for a second, looks over and breaks her concentration on the hut. But she sees... I'm assuming she sees that Mariko doesn't seem hostile or threatening him with a tidal wave or anything.
Yet.
Yet.
So she is going to quickly decide, no, I'm going to stay focused in the hut.
Okay.
So she's going to stay where she's at and still can try to listen in to make sure Tanaka's okay.
Got
And
it.
Fluff is still looking through the windows.
Got you. Please carry on. As Zahn pops his head out and says, "Murder?
No, it's the killing evil.
Murder?"
Okay. I guess I can't really play stupid much longer. You have found the Tempest. Murder Happy Bunny.
What? Somebody looking for us?
She's just gonna point
Yes,
to
it is I.
pointing.
Who's I?
I am Laken.
And how do you spell that?
L A A I N.
Wait, that's Laken with a K?
Yes.
Lakin.
Oh, okay. Ah,
Yes.
so
This is my name.
Is that something we can do for you?
Hopefully. I would prefer to tell all of you at once instead of piecemeal.
So let's look up at Mariko. Mariko, that is...
Mariko's standing on the ground.
Oh. How did you get there? That is Kasumi.
Making sure that Tanaka doesn't get murdered in that dilapidated hut.
Why would she get murdered in a hut?
Well, he went inside with people that he's never formerly met before.
Or have we? Whatever. Well, Laken. It
Yes.
seems some of the group are...
Preoccupied.
Yes, that's a good word for it. Preoccupied, doing other things.
I can
So-
learn words.
Very good.
Where do you come from?
We'll get to that.
I'm gonna go check on Kasumi. Mariko's gonna try to... Actually, Mariko is going to shift into Mothcat form
Okay.
and fly over and land on Kasumi's shoulder.
You can't find her.
Okay, she's gonna go over near... she's gonna, fly around the hut.
Okay. Because with a natural 20 on stealth, that's what, 42?
No, so it's 32.
32.
Which is-
Okay.
it's plus 12,
Still.
so.
I tried to...
Yeah,
look
make
for
a
Kasumi.
perception check.
Because if anyone in this group is going to be able to find Kasumi while she's stealth, it's probably going to be Mariko.
Yeah,
That's
you're
fair.
The only one with a chance.
Good at perception.
Not like Mariko is.
$29.
You fly up into the air as your tiny little mothcat form, which, Lakin, you see this bright pink-skinned pointy-eared elf girl just turns into a small, like a really, really small, really fluffy cat has moth wings and just takes off over towards the house. You're able to find Fluff kind of bonking into a window and kind of like grabbing onto the ledge and kind of like scratching at it to get in, having no real effect on the structure. But you don't see Kasumi.
She's just gonna huff and just look inside the hut. A different window than Fluff.
Okay.
What is the purpose of this place?
But of this place? That's a great question that I'll answer when they get back.
I will start walking towards the house.
Who's walking towards the house?
No, he's saying he will walk towards the house.
Wait, what? I don't know if that's a good idea.
Hands behind my back, chest up and proud.
Well, have fun with that. Son's gonna lean
all I
against.
can do.
The son is gonna lean against the car and just watch what the fuck's about to happen.
Okay. So, Lakin, you approach the house. Mariko, you go to a window. And much like with Fluff, it's covered in dirt and grime. It's very difficult to see through. There are no lights in the upstairs portion. Are you staying at the upstairs, or which windows are you wanting to go look at?
Ground floor.
Ground floor. So even going into the ground floor, it's very dark inside. You can kind of see sort of shapes moving around the interior. They seem normal human-sized blobs of shadow. And you can hear pleasant voices, more or less.
What kind of door is there?
It's very generous to really call it a door anymore. The wood planks on it are fairly rotted away towards the top, and it seems to mainly be sitting there just by leaning. So for you, it'd be very easy to just kind of like fly up through the hole in it for how small you are.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you flutter your way inside.
I am trying to be at least a little bit stealthy, though.
Make a stealth check for me then. I figured you're just gonna just straight through the door and.
No. So would I use the moth cat stealth stat or mine?
With wild
That
shape,
would-
you would use the moth cat's strength, dex, and constitution. But you keep your wisdom, intelligence, and charisma.
Okay. Because one of the skills for a moth cat is stealth plus 15.
There you go.
That's why I was double checking. It's like,
Yeah.
Small.
That
Wild
is
shape's fun.
a 22.
22. Okay. Okay. So you fly through the hole in the front door, and you immediately feel the temperature drop by about 10 degrees from what it was outside. But with your soft little light body, little fluffy wings, you make almost no noise as you're flying into the area, or into the main room. You can see kind of off in the back is Tanaka sitting in a chair, and he's slumped forward, his head kind of hanging a little bit, but he seems to be having a normal conversation. And the female and the child are nowhere to be seen, and the male is standing right beside Tanaka and seems to be leaning over top of him.
don't like that.
Didn't ask.
I don't like that.
Kasumi, are you still circling around the house, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
So circling around to at least towards the back corner of the house, you can see that a good portion of the wall in the back left corner is like collapsed in. Let me actually make sure I'm telling you the right. Yes, the back left is kind of collapsed in a little bit up in the ceiling area, and the one window there is just completely fallen out onto the ground.
Is there a way that she can get up there?
Jumping into the windowsill is very, very easy.
Okay, she's going to do that.
Okay. Okay, so you hop inside, and you see a similar sight to what Moriko did. Tanaka's sitting in a chair, slumped forward, kind of like low drone talking, and the male figure from before is kind of looming over top of him. Over top of him, sorry.
And so the guy's not eating, he's just standing over Tanaka, and you said it's significantly colder?
Yes.
Would Kasumi know of any stories or tales around the area of things where I'm trying to think of how to best describe it. Stories of types of monsters or like paranormal things that can happen that make things colder?
Make a Arcana check.
Okay. Okay, for Arcana, that is a 24.
24. You're fairly aware of quite a few creatures of a spiritual variety that would have a chilling sort of effect. You also know that there's quite a few beasties that would be up in mountainous areas that just have the ability to harness the cold as an offensive tool in and of themselves. As far as anything specific, you don't know anything by name, but you are aware that those creatures exist, especially for being where you grew up.
Right. She didn't know if she like heard a story about one of them or something.
Plenty of kind of tall tales that parents tell children to make sure that they don't wander around at night, but none that you have personally seen.
Okay. She is going to be on alert, and she is going to try to move in closer while stealthing. See if she can get underneath the table.
Okay. And Lakin, you are still approaching the front door. Walking on up the path, you did see the very bright pink moth cat flying through the hole in the door. So as you approach the structure, what would you like to do? Kasumi, another stealth roll for me while he's doing this.
Would like to remind Dungeon Master that I have sight to 120 feet, which allows me to peer in through dark magic.
Yes.
There's a 22 for stealth.
22. Okay. Got it. So, Lakin, while you are able to see into dark spaces, the door is kind of like the top portion is what's fallen through. So you still have a structure that you would need to open to get into the place and see what's going on.
Yes, I did not know if there were windows on first floor.
If you want to go to one of the sides, you can look through one of the windows, or you could go right up to one of the doors. Kind of dealer's choice.
I will go up to the front door.
Okay. With your very large stature, you kind of just have to go like this to look through it. But peering inside, make a perception check for me, mostly to see if you see either of the two stealthy ladies. Which, Moriko, yours, what was your roll? Because I know Kasumi's was a 22. Do you remember what your stealth
It was
was?
either 23 or 22.
We'll go with 22. It's close enough. That's on me for not writing it down.
Out there!
I'm focused on the story, shut up.
It is a 22.
Meets and beats.
That's the number.
So, peering inside, you see the similar sight. For you, Tanaka's back is to you, his head kind of down. The other figure is looming over top of him. Even from your position, you can kind of feel the colder air coming out of the hole in the door. The very bright pink moth cat is fluttering upwards towards the ceiling just above your head. And right around that time, you see the multi-tailed white fox jumping through the back left window from where you're facing and is like dodging in and around the detritus of the very, very ramshackle, dilapidated home. Also, Kasumi, for where you currently are, there's a spot right in front of you that looks like it used to be a way to get down into the basement, and the floorboards are starting to cave in and fall into that spot. Just to kind of paint you a little bit more of a picture of what the inside of the home looks like.
Okay.
Am I aware of what is going on inside this domicile?
Let me see what kind of check I want you to do for that. Make an insight check with advantage for me.
Very well. So, that is natural 20 for 22.
Okay. You peer inside, and it takes you a moment to kind of piece together what's happening. Seeing the posture of the gentleman that you had seen go in from a distance, the one that's looming over top of him, the fact that the other two figures that you had seen were not there, you know that this is a very evil entity that feeds on the living. And the one sitting in the chair is currently being fed upon.
Will hex the creature standing over
Okay.
a small and weak human.
All right. And Hex, that imposes disadvantage on a stat, doesn't it? Or am I thinking of a different spell?
I will have it have disadvantage on dexterity checks.
Okay. All right. With that, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Fuck yeah, bud.
Let's see if I have
Out
any...
of here.
Moth cat.
+5 to finish. So it's gonna be 18.
Let me see. I don't know if I have any good, like, spooky encounter music.
Boopy.
What about when we were fighting the banshee?
That was in Zeke's campaign, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, where I actually used counter charm effectively, but preemptively.
The first bard to ever have done that in all time ever. It was glorious.
By the way, Dungeon Master, that
See.
creature will be hexed for the next 24 hours.
Damn!
Ooh.
If it'll live for that long.
I don't think it's gonna live for that long.
No.
I was gonna say, if anybody wants to get their licks in now, do it quick before Zahn realizes that there's a fight happening. Okay, so let's head on over.
Was my bonus action.
Yes. So.
I have the battle map up.
I'm working on it, sir. I have many things what need doing. Ooh.
That's
That
a
was-
circle.
Yeah, that is a circle. Proud of you.
I learned shapes. Geometry.
Okay.
Who's rolling dice in here?
That's me. I'm rolling
Okay.
initiative for things.
Real fast, is there actually a map up yet?
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, but I haven't activated. Is everyone actually?
So I just
in
want to
here?
make sure my screen is gray, and I was trying to figure. Oh, there we go. Okay, just took a hot
1, 2,
minute to
3.
actually appear.
Okay, so we're still missing Kasumi being in here. So,
I'm right now.
God.
I'm here.
Okay, you see the logo?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
Mario.
So, as Lakin, I'm gonna zoom out real quick just to show people or the stream where everyone is. Zahn and Pez are back by the wagon. Pez is actually inside the wagon. So, as Lakin casts Hex on the figure, it lifts its head and the mouth just stretches impossibly wide. These ethereal teeth just elongate, and the healthy and hale-looking man shrivels into skeletal remains that seem quasi-translucent, and the clothing it was wearing just becomes tattered and ragged and old. So, let's get initiatives in. 25 to 20.
30.
20.
I got a nat 20 for a 24.
I got a dirty 20.
Oh my god. Okay, so Zahn had a 30. Mariko, sorry, what was yours again?
20.
Solid 20. Kasumi?
24.
24. Oh my god. I'm not gonna have a turn. Fuck! 20 to 15.
18.
18.
18.
Ooh.
I guarantee Pez's dex is higher than mine.
I was about to
Oh, yeah.
ask.
Plus one.
Plus 8.
Yeah, Pez is going first. Okay, that's fine. Okay. That's everybody. Let's get right on into it. So, top of the round, Zahn, you don't see anything terribly out of the ordinary at the moment. You're still leaning up against the wagon home. Lakin has gone up to the door and he seems to be peering inside. Actually, I need to move you like one nudge closer.
Did the creature just screech or something like that?
Make a perception check for me.
It's also, Kasumi was underneath the table, like, at...
Oh,
Tanaka's
yes, I'm
feet.
sorry. I meant to move you there.
It's okay. I just want to make sure before we started.
Nope, I appreciates that.
God,
Sorry, say-
DM, why don't you manage 10 creatures at once?
Working on it. Zahn, one more time, it didn't come through.
No, 15 plus 9, so I think it's 24.
24. You definitely heard a noise that's not normal coming from the house. You don't see anything, but you definitely heard something out of the ordinary.
So, Zahn will look up at Pez. Wait, I know Pez is up there, right?
Pez is not up there. He's under the table?
I'm somewhere. You'll
He's
know.
in the wagon.
Zahn's
There you
just gonna say, Pez, I heard something. I'm gonna just go see if everyone's alright. Zahn will stroll his first turn in combat 10 feet, so my whoops, sorry.
Just gonna stroll his casual 50 feet of movement.
And just see if I can see anything from where I'm at. If I can't, I'm just gonna nonchalantly.
You see Lakin's back at the moment.
Sun's
Large
can't see
back.
anything. So
His
he's
large
just gonna-
back.
He's just gonna keep walking.
Okay. All right. That brings us to you, Kasumi. From your perspective underneath the table, you were hearing them talking, sort of. It's like low mumbling, kind of droning, very monotone. And the feet of the man that you had seen before shrivel up, become translucent, and begin to float off of the ground in front of you.
Okay. She's going to shift into human form.
Okay.
And
Donk!
she's still crouched, so she's still in the crouching position. And she's gonna grab Tanaka's feet and pull him underneath the table.
Ooh, okay. Make a strength check for me.
Okay. She's not very strong, but we'll see. Okay. If I can think right now. Okay. Please don't fail me, dice. 5.
5. You grab his leg and try to pull, but the angle that he's kind of slumped forward, he's also still wearing all of his armor. He's quite heavy for a weak little rogue to try to pull off the table. So, yeah. Didn't really pull him too terribly much,
Okay.
unfortunately.
That's cool. She's gonna realize this is a moot point because she just does not have the upper body strength to do what she wanted to do.
You're also kind of like hunched under a table trying to fucking drag his leg, you know?
Yeah, just trying to get him out of the way. So instead, she's going to crawl out and walk behind his chair. And
Behind
that's gonna be
Tanaka's
her-
chair, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna try to get in between Tanaka and this thing that she can now see in its grotesque form now.
So you want... Ping where you want to be for me, please.
Okay, hold on. How do you ping again?
Click and hold, so you want to be right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you can squeeze into there.
Yeah, and so she's gonna stand up and look at this monstrous thing. But that's her turn.
Mariko, you're really good at this, by the way.
I found it too. I'm looking at it right now. It's terrifying.
I saw your message. I was like, oh shit, she froze. And then I was like, oh no. So you have inspiration for this particular round of combat. All right, so sorry, Kasumi, I got slightly distracted. So you moved up, stood up in front between the creature and Tanaka.
Yep.
Is there
and that's
anything
all
else?
I can do.
That's all you're doing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mariko, speaking of you, it is your turn. Pez, you are on deck.
I'm Mothcat up in rafters, right?
It's not so much rafters, but you're kind of up next to the ceiling.
Okay. Down to ground, shift back.
Very easy.
How much
Done it a million
movement
times.
did I lose?
I'm gonna not
Right.
much. I mean, it's not like you were like 15 feet in the sky. I mean, the ceiling's maybe
Okay.
8-ish feet tall.
Okay. So I'm gonna move myself over like this, just so I'm not blocking the door.
Mhm.
And I'm going to thorn whip him.
Oh, okay. You can try.
Attempt to get him away from Tanaka.
I'm assuming it's probably going to succeed. What's my... Well, you gotta roll the hit first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's like a weapon.
Yeah.
What is it? Fuck, I'm having a math. 26?
26 hits.
Okay. Melee spell attack against the target if the attack hit the piercing damage, and if the creature is large or smaller, you pull the creature up to 10 feet closer to you.
Okay, so I don't need to save or anything. It just happens if it hits.
It just happens if it
Yeah,
hits.
it's really unfortunate for me.
Okay, so 3d6 piercing. 6. 21 points of piercing.
Oh.
And he gets pulled 10 feet closer to me.
Sorry, how much damage was it again? 20 something?
21.
21.
21.
And he gets pulled 10 feet closer?
Yep.
Okay. So Kasumi, as you get up between Tanaka and this ghostly figure, its mouth starts to open and lets out another blood-curdling scream, just and then there's just a thorn vine just right around the throat, like, and just gets pulled over the table. Well, it kind of gets pulled over the table, half pulled over the table, but also kind of through the table. Like, you notice that its legs just kind of phase through the wooden surface towards Moriko, who's just got this like or whatever sort of like fierce battle pose she may do.
Bitch, you thought.
She's giving her a proud mom grin right now.
Golf clap. Is there anything else you would like to do with your turn?
Wouldn't me shifting back into human form use my bonus action? Since my wild shape is a... Okay.
Yes.
So it's my action, bonus action.
You still have loads of movement.
Yeah. So... After that...
Come here! Fuck off!
It was 5 feet to get down. I moved over 5 feet,
Sure.
so I still... Oh, okay.
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna go over to the other corner.
That's
Yes,
fine.
gents.
Okay. That brings us to Pez.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
I have a question. When he got yoinked away with Kasumi being within 5 feet, would that have caused an opportunity attack?
no. Opportunity attacks are generally done by the creature's physical wanting to move. If they're forced movement, it doesn't count.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah. Believe me, that would be awesome. I would love to just ping pong somebody around and just give everybody opportunity attacks, but unfortunately, no, that's not how it
Okay,
works.
I just wanted to be safe.
I appreciate the ask, because that would be really cool. Just go, hi, bye, stab. So, that brings us to Pez. Lakin, you're on deck. Pez, what would you
Alright.
like to do as you barely had time to hear Zahn say, hey, there's a weird noise, and he left.
So, you know how, like, in Tom and Jerry, like, whenever Jerry's, like, terrified, like, you see his heart, like, beating out of his chest?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's Pez right now, because he saw an orc who was very intimidating and terrifying.
Oh no.
Oh, we
So,
bad.
he's going to go to the other side of the cart, and I assume there's a window there that can swing open.
There is one window to the left of the main, or a window on each side of the main doorway, and then on the opposite wall there is a smaller window above the wash basin.
that open up?
The current way that the wagon is angled, you'd have a better chance of looking through the front bay windows. Which, for the stream's sake, I will pan over so that we can see what we're talking about.
How much movement would it take for me to get up to the spire on top?
If you were Pez pose underneath the table, with your full movement, which you're at exhaustion level 2 now, so your movement is still halved?
Old or new rules?
We're going with old. We need to have that conversation when this is done to see if we want to go to the new ones or not, because I don't remember if we came to a consensus over that or not.
I think originally we were going to go with new, but if you're fine with old,
Well-
then I'm fine with that.
Let's go with old for now. We'll have a chat with Lakin afterwards and see how everyone feels about it and kind of take it as a vote. So for now, we're going with the old rules.
So my movement would be 15, since speed is halved.
But if you were to use your action to move, you would get your full 30. So it would be at least a turn, one more turn for you to get basically up the stairs, the next turn to the turret and up, we'll say.
I'm closer to the door, so it'd probably be best for me to head out of the wagon.
It would be quicker, yes.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I don't know how many feet that would be.
We'll say that your 15 feet of movement would get you right to the ground outside.
Okay. And this is a window, correct?
Yes.
Am I able to see through said window? Through a scope?
Would appear to be so. Yes.
Cool. But I don't see anything nefarious other than the giant orc who is very intimidating, and my friend or foe tag is saying foe.
Correct.
Um,
Correct in the sense that you don't see. I'm really not sure how to answer that without making Lakin really mad at me.
oh,
Say
seeing
it.
that,
Say it.
No.
Racist.
For context, Pez hates orcs.
Racist.
hearing that Zan was and Kasumi was fairly friendly. No, Moriko was fairly friendly with the stranger's voice. I'm going to assume the foe tag is temporarily a friend tag. I'm not going to attack the orc yet.
So a frenemy.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my action to move another 15 feet towards the ruckus.
Okay, that would get you right about there.
With a bonus action of... I had it prepared. I don't have it prepared. So, bonus action, try to calm my palpitating heart.
Okay. So, with that being said, it is now the creature's turn. And having been yanked away from its prey, and away from the other prey creatures that had appeared into its domicile, once again, that mouth just stretches wider and wider, and this time it does get off a proper scream. It's very shrill, very piercing, kind of makes those of you inside wince as it just bounces around in the interior. Those of you outside are able to hear it very, very clear, and it seems to just go. There's nothing really around for it to echo off of, but it is still just a shrill noise. Lakin, Zahn, and Pez, with you three being outside, as the scream begins to subside slightly, to the east of you, or I guess towards the bottom of the map, that is technically east, you hear a series of groans and kind of wheezing gasps, and it's a little bit difficult to see in the bright daylight, but there are more ethereal forms rising out of the ground there,
Okay.
seemingly called by whatever had made that scream inside. Which, Lakin, you're able to see this creature. Zahn, you just heard the scream, and now there's more like coming from your left. Creature, having been taken away from its prize, is going to 5, 10, 15 move on up towards you, Moriko. But that is all that it is able to do. Yes, exactly, Pez. Nailed it. Okay. That brings us to Lakin. Zahn, you are on deck. Sorry, let me...
I'll step inside the domicile.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Kind of fun.
My right hand. And blast the creature 3 times with my Eldritch Blast.
Oh no. Okay. Roll your attacks.
28 to hit for the first.
Oh, that hits.
29 to hit for the second.
In a shocking turn of events, that hits too.
Then a low roll, 19 to hit.
Funny enough, that still hits.
9 points of force damage. Misspoke. It's 12 points of force damage, 2 points of necrotic from Hex.
Okay.
Does it look like the necrotic bothered it at all?
You know how much damage you would normally do, and while you hit it very, very hard with those blasts, it didn't seem to have quite the effect that you were used to experiencing.
And that was from the necrotic damage?
Yes.
And then the next 2 shots are 8 points and 10 points.
18 more points of damage. Okay. So, Mariko, as this creature is slowly kind of coming up towards you, the rickety door, Lakin starts to open it, and it just sort of falls over onto the ground. He goes, bam, bam, bam. And just from behind, you just see this. Thankfully, it hits it enough that it doesn't pass through and strike you as well, but you see its ghostly form just kind of shimmer and ripple and seems to kind of tear even more. And it seems that the orc dude's on your side, or maybe he was trying to hit you and he fucking missed. I don't know.
I would like to get on the opposite side of the creature.
Directly behind it?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you would like to do, sir?
This is it.
Okay. And that brings us back to the top of the round. Why are these fuckers not showing?
I can see them.
Sorry, not...
Oh, different fuckers. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm trying to... They're not showing up in the turn order like they should be. So I was struggling to find out where they were. Okay. That actually brings us to some of these goobers. Alrighty, I have lots of movement to do. Alright. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hooray!
Target-rich environment!
Yeah, I'm gonna get to do something I haven't done before. I can't wait.
So these creatures begin shambling towards you, Zon, as you're kind of jogging along to kind of catch up. You see the large orc just going inside, and you hear incantations and shouts and the screeching. But you kind of look to your left, and you're like, a lot of my friends are in there. There's a lot of bad guys here. So 2 of them were able to get close enough to you. Let's see. 2 of them are going to come up and try to bite you.
Ew.
That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Negatorio Capitan.
What about a 21?
Negatorio Capitan.
Damn.
Sorry.
No, I just... so the 2 kind of come towards you, and while they got up to you fairly quickly, they're not the fastest enemies you've ever fought, and as they come to bite you, it's like, no, stop.
Yeah, go away.
Go away. The smell is horrific. It was...
When was the last time you took a bath?
Decay and sulfur.
It's not great. The skin is sloughing off. It's not a fantastic smell. Unfortunately, that's the others. Well, no, I'm going to have them action dash. Get you properly surrounded.
Yes.
Okay, so they begin to swarm Zon, but between his armored plating and like kind of, float like a butterfly movements, he's able to just dodge them getting onto him. So, with that being said, that does bring us back to the top of the round with Zon. Kasumi, you are on deck.
BM did all of my work for me. I can't wait. Turn undead.
Okay.
I need all of them to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
As I chant, it's like, you have forgot one thing. I may kill people, but I am a priest.
The power of Valkyrie compels you.
Exactly.
So, funny story. They have advantage because they are within a certain distance of each other. So, what do they need to be?
Dicks.
17.
So, I'm still fucked. So 1.
Okay.
Oh, nope. That one's good. That's a natural 20. That one's good. That one's successful. You said 17?
Yes, sir.
Wisdom?
Yes.
Okay, so that one fails. And that one succeeds.
You have 1.
Hey, you got one.
Destroy undead. If it's combat rating 2 or lower, it just dies.
Yeah. Yeah, so Zon's like, this is my moment! Ha! And it's like, there's this loud cry of victory, and just one goes...
Fine, we do this the hard way. Bonus action.
So one of them just kind of, as he clenches his fist, it just sort of splatters into like ichor and dust and just sort of like paints the ground behind it like a little dark bloody black. The others don't look very happy.
That's too bad. Bonus action holy weapon.
Wow.
Is it a frying pan?
I don't have a good icon for it.
Could use hamburger.
Oh wait,
Behold!
no, hold on. I'm trying to. Which is holy weapon again? It's been a minute since you've used it.
It's holy weapon is my weapon is imbued with holy power. It emanates bright light within a 30-foot radius and dim light for another 30. In addition, the weapon deals 2d8 additional radiant damage on hit. If the weapon is an already magic weapon, it becomes
Okay.
1 for the duration.
Okay, so it is the ability that I thought it was.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have a cool icon for it, so we're just gonna remember that you have it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anything else you want to do, sir?
No. I did the cool thing and it didn't fucking work!
I like to have fun too.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
That brings us to Kasumi. Moriko, you were on deck.
Okay. She's gonna look down at Tanaka. I know he's slumped over. She's like gonna like grab his head and tilt it back. Is he breathing?
Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Or investigation, since you're like right up on top of him. Sorry.
Okay.
Since I know you hate perception checks, let's give you a different stat to suck
I mean,
at.
neither are great. Investigation 11.
11. In the heat of battle, it's not easy to tell. Your own adrenaline is pumping as this thing screamed, and there's the clamor of Moriko casting spells, and your this new orc figure that just barged in, blasted it, and is now coming up behind it like he means fucking business. His eyes are kind of rolling into the back of his head. His jaw is kind of slack. He doesn't have the feeling of a corpse yet.
Okay.
But it's a little bit difficult to tell what state he's in, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, she's gonna panic a little. She's gonna try to tilt him back, grab her potion of healing, and pour it in his mouth and hold his jaw shut.
Okay.
So she's gonna try to do like that CPR move, like tilt his chin up, pour it down, and keep
Rub his throat a little bit.
Yeah.
So giving a potion to another creature is an action. So
That's okay.
So you will still have your bonus action if you wish to do so after this. Since you're applying it, roll the healing dice for me, please.
Okay, it's 2d4, right?
I don't remember which level of potion do you
It's
have?
just a basic one. It's
Basic?
the one I have
Yeah,
on my person right now.
got it.
Oh, great. I rolled 2 1s. Okay. Still, 3
It's
HP.
health.
Healing damage.
Healing damage.
I mean, you
He
just
starts to
baby birded him.
drown in it. He just poured it in his lungs.
Does he start? I was going to say, does he start to drown?
You drown from a
Please
healing
don't.
potion?
Massage the throat.
I'm not sure, Pez, but it's kind of funny. How'd he die? Drowned in healing potion.
That'd be terrible.
The disgrace.
Does he have any type of reaction when she gets it down his gullet?
You're not sure?
Okay. She's gonna stay right there and keep his chin tilted up. Because it looks like they've got it okay for right now. And she's gonna just bonus action activate her dress of defense.
Okay,
So
cool.
that is all
Increase in
she is
AC.
doing. She is gonna babysit the unconscious one at the table.
Right on. All right, that brings us to Moriko. Pez, you're on deck.
I'm gonna slash at him with my moonsicle.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see now. 28.
28 hits.
Okay.
Have advantage because I am standing
yes.
flanking.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
Let me try again.
I was focused making sure that I knew what weapon she was hitting me with, because I don't think Moriko's ever meleeed before.
He is now.
I can't quite tidal wave in a closed space like this.
That's quitter talking, you know
With
it.
that attitude.
And
Don't do it.
then he would really drown.
Yeah.
It's
You
okay,
did
not for
not.
long.
Natural 20.
You did not.
Natural 20.
Meow.
All right. We all know the
Okay.
drill. So let's see. Maximum damage for that is
9.
yes.
9.
So. $18 points of slashing.
18 points of slashing. Damage is damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else you would like to do?
I don't like the close combat fighting, so I'm gonna Misty Step.
Ooh. Okay. Where are you poofing to?
Over here.
Okay.
Poof. I don't like the close combat.
Okay. Anything else? As you
Action,
get rid of the
bonus,
advantage for
action.
Lakin and make it much harder for him now.
I'm squishy.
No, it's
I am not.
Does that do it for you?
Yeah. That'll do
Okay.
For me.
All right. Pez, you're up. Lakin, you're on deck.
Cool. I am going to attack.
Okay. Zon or the bad guys?
Everything.
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
I mean, he can withstand a fireball.
Or two.
I will burn your world to the ground.
Oh, I thought that was the end of the statement. I will burn.
I was looking at Hail of Thorns. I was thinking that it would be like literal Hail of Thorns, but I am reading too much, and I'm just gonna use a gun. So
Yeah, it's
This
just-
is too complicated. Lizard brain. Bang.
I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Sorry.
Gun.
Which one are you? The front one?
Yeah.
Okay. Which gun are you using?
The multi-tool. The
Copy.
magical rifle goober, of which has been configured for Thunder Doomerge.
Which orientation is it in? Is it the rifle? Rifle? Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Although I
Make
could've
your
done pistol,
shots.
but, yeah, it's fine.
Well, you can change it with the bonus action.
Fuck it. Bonus action, reconfigure the pistol.
Okay.
So I have 3 shots per action.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to roll 3 d20s to see if
Yes.
it hits? Okay.
Yep.
Ugh. Ugh. Holy shit, that's a lot. 22 for the first
22,
hit.
22 hits.
Cool. A lot. That hits. 30.
Oh, yeah, no, that hits.
Just hits.
18 for the third hit.
18 hits.
Oh, sweet. 1d10 per shot. Where's the hell is my d10?
I know you have enough dice. I keep getting you dice sets.
You do, and I love it.
Nobody gets me dice.
8 damage for the first hit.
Okay.
Wait, 1d10 plus 6. So 16. Right? Yeah.
Well, if it was 8 plus 6, that's 14.
14. Okay. 14 for the first hit. That is a 3 plus 6, which is
9.
9.
Okay.
Plus an additional 10 damage.
Okay.
I math. I did math. Look, I'm mathing.
Golf clap. Okay. You reconfigure the multi-tool. Little flourish, become smaller. You level out. You fire off 3 shots. Zon, you can hear the one that kind of crept up around behind you is getting hit, and it's kind of snarling, and you hear a heavy thud as like its arm just comes off of the shoulder and just lands with a wet slap on the ground behind you. Kind of glancing over your shoulder, you see there's a lot of more new holes in it than there were before. Anything else, sir?
Than you were before.
Damn.
I'm going to use my action to move 15 feet closer.
Your action was to shoot your gun.
I mean, my movement.
Okay.
Word.
Yep.
Yep.
Look, I'm reading a lot. Reading
Yep.
hurts brain.
Yep. Anything else? That was bonus action and movement, so.
Yep, that's pretty much it. What is this little Roman 4 on my icon?
I updated everyone's entry through D&D Beyond, and I think it's looking at your exhaustion level, and it just hasn't updated yet. So I'll be able to fix that later on.
Cool.
All right. So that brings us back to the Ghosty Guru creature dude. And he is going to, having seen his prey get away from him, he's going to turn around and with how big Lakin is, this dude is floating and he's still shorter than Lakin. But he is going to he's going to use Life Drain. That's probably not going to hit. Does a 15 hit?
Does not.
Unfucking fortunate.
I'm glad I got the fuck out of Dodge.
Well, fuck balls. That was gonna be really cool, and my dice strike again. So that's all he's gonna be able to fucking do.
You made 4 wisdom saves of 17. You ran out of luck.
He's not wrong. Okay. That really sucks. I could have just slapped him, but instead I went for a cool thing and I failed. Anyway, Lakin, you're up. Zon, you're on deck.
I will cast a sorceress burst at the creature.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Does 17 plus 9. I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think any of you...
Attack is interesting.
Sorry, carry on.
It is a cantrip.
does 3d8 of damage I choose it to do.
Mm-hmm.
If I roll 8s on the damage dice, I get to roll another 8, up to my casting modifier, which is +5. So, in all reality, if I ever crit on this spell, I'll be able to do 8d8 out of a cantrip.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
It's kind of cool, though.
Fun.
I love our house rules. It makes combat so interesting and just literally explosive.
There's 14 points of psychic damage.
Psychic damage.
Then I know it probably won't do much. Bitters and the necrotic.
You said 17?
Necrotic. Yes, 17 psychic and 4 necrotic.
Okay.
For max.
Being up in its face, you kind of just put your hand there and just unleash the spell right in its face, and it goes off with such a concussive force that the head kind of dissipates by the blast of it and has to reform, but it's reforming slowly, and it's kind of like just like gently, like slightly drifting down, but it comes back up as it reforms and just kind of looks up at you and just snarls at you again.
I would like to do is step at a corner to put myself in between the useless human and the 9-tailed fox lady.
Puny human number 1. Puny fox lady number 2. Loken's good friend Morbo.
Then I will just say to the creature, even though I know it probably won't matter, we'll put you where you belong.
It just kind of just gives this inward sucking breath as it slowly turns to watch you move, to put your body between it and the others. Okay. That brings us back to the other one's turns, and they are going to close ranks around the Zon, and they are going to... what are they going to do? Oh, shit. Well, that's on me. I forgot one of their abilities, but I'll remember for the next time around. So they're all just going to start wailing on you, and with their general flanking, they're going to get advantage on it. So that's 4. Nope. 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 Ooh, that has a chance. 25.
Yep.
Yay!
You
Get
hit
to
me.
actually deal damage. Is this what that's like?
Yes.
I can't be mad because I asked the question rhetorically, and here it is. That is going to be 19 points of piercing damage as the one that Pez was kind of shooting at just sort of like falls and latches onto you with its teeth and just finds that one squishy bit right in the right in the shoulder meat. All right. That's it for their turn, which brings us to the top of the round with Zon. And I should have done this before, but I got distracted. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, Zon.
21.
Okay, you're fine. And I don't get to use it on you anymore because you're immune to their stench for the next 24 hours.
Stinky.
Very stinky. Like, horrifically stinky. Kasumi, you're on deck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First thing of order, I cast... Well, there it is. I stomp my foot and cast Destruction Wave in a circle around me.
Damn.
I
Okay.
need them to make a Constitution saving throw. They'll probably end up being pretty good on this one, but we'll see.
I don't know. Constitution saving throw. Cool. What do I need to beat?
17.
2 failure. Ooh, natural 20. 1 success.
Okay, so they take 12, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 points of radiant. And so it's 10 and 16 points of thunder. Yes, thunder. And then the ones who failed are knocked prone.
Okay, so that's 39 total. Okay, so the one that's saved would be 16 points of damage. Cool.
And then...
Well, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Because you stomp the ground,
Then
and with the dry, cracked earth, as weak and fragile as it is, that there hasn't been rain in months almost, there's just a plume of dust and dirt flies up from your stomp. The ground just opening up and basically swallowing 3 of these creatures. You're basically reburying them and just crushing them back into the dirt. You outright killed 3 of them. There's only one that survived, and he's the one that rolled the natty 20. So there's one left.
I'm gonna stab him
Okay.
with my bonus action.
Bonus action. For what, 2-weapon
Doom
fighting?
No, Doom Duster. The first one's just a spell. You can use your bonus action to make a single weapon attack against any creature that hasn't taken its turn yet. If you're the first in the initiative order you're at it, that doesn't have to do with combat.
Which is this?
The Doom Duster, the second part.
The Doom Duster.
The cloak.
Oh, I forgot that you had the cloak. I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry. Nope,
You're good.
you're good.
No.
Carry on. Murder.
And
Murder, death, kill.
weapon attack. 27.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That's not the right dice. I should have thought about this before I did this. That's going to be 9 points of slashing. Uh, 6 points of cold. And 8 plus 2. 10 points of radiant. And 7 points of thunder.
Yeah, he's dead. Like, really, really dead. So you stomp the ground and the earth swallows 3 of them. The third one was kind of quasi entombed, like kind of from the waist up, and he's starting to try to crawl out, and you're just like, and just shove him back in where he belongs. Yeah, they're all super dead.
I'm just trying to wave all of the dust away so I can see.
Yeah, so between the stomp and the attack, it takes a second, but eventually the dust would settle and Pez would see that there's just kind of no more undead things wandering around. Anything else,
Pez.
sir?
I'm done.
Okay, and that brings us to Kasumi. Mariko, you're on deck.
Okay, she's gonna look down because she's still holding Tanaka's chin. Has he changed his condition at all?
Having spent the turn monitoring him, he does seem to be breathing.
Okay. He's breathing and he's still got his head tilted back on the chair, correct?
It's a bit strange. He's not like total limp noodle, but it definitely feels like if you were to let go of his chin, his head would still kind of flop forward, if that makes sense. But like if you let him go, like you're holding his head, but you're not like keeping him from falling out of his chair.
Okay.
It's like those hypnotized things.
What she said.
I'm trying to think. What amount of like, would it require an action or a bonus action to gently tilt the chair back to lay him on the ground?
Considering your general lack of strength, it would probably be your action.
Okay. Okay, so she's gonna let go of his chin.
Okay.
She's gonna climb on top of the table.
This is Sparta!
No. She's gonna climb on top of the table, and she is going to shoot by Saito at the creature.
Okay.
Which, yeah, so since she's on top of the table, she can see over Lakin now, correct?
Not really. The ceilings are only about 8 foot high, and Lakin's 7 foot something.
Okay.
So
how long is the table? Is it like 5 or 10 feet?
I mean, if you're worried about hitting Lakin, you've got more than enough movement to sidestep, shoot, and then go back.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what she wanted to do. But...
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very easy. Because
Okay.
if you were to stay directly behind Lakin, then you're going to be giving the creature like 3/4 cover.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna
beefy
try to
warlock.
sidestep so I can get a clean shot at it. And I do get sneak since Lakin's
Correct.
within 5 feet, correct?
So
Okay.
you won't get advantage on the attack, but you will get to do your sneak attack damage.
Okay. Let's
Consider me an ally.
see.
Aw.
Does a 17 hit?
Yeah, 17 hits.
Oh, okay. So for the piercing damage, that's 7 points of piercing. I need a d6 for the poison damage. 1 point of poison,
Okay.
and then a sneak attack. Let me get the sneak attack damage. Okay, 25 points of sneak attack.
All right. How do you want to do this?
She's gonna try to angle it perfectly, just where it's gonna kind of just buzz past Lakin's shoulder, and she's aiming right for the head.
Okay. So showing off to the new frenemy. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So you look at Tanaka, you're like, fucking useless, drop his head, and you step to the side, pull your bow out, and just go straight past, and the arrow just whizzing right over your shoulder as you're beginning to prepare your next spell, your next attack. Just this jade green crystalline arrow goes screaming past your shoulder and takes this creature right in the head, and the green energies that made the arrow itself seem to just rip through the creature, making it kind of fall to pieces, and like as these bones hit the ground, they just sort of drift off into little espers of ethereal dust.
And she was planning on, as soon as she let go of the arrow and saw that it hit, she turns to Mariko. Mariko, Tanaka needs help. And she's sitting there just still aiming the bow at him. At where the creature thing was.
Oh, Tanaka, it's your turn.
No.
Okay. We're going to exit combat. Get us
The
back.
woman and child go.
Okay,
Never was one.
So as the shrieks and screams and the moans of the creatures fade into nothingness, once again the silence of the area comes back. Takes a few breaths for the adrenaline to wear down, the blood thumping in your ears to go away, but soon enough Zahn is standing over some stinky earth. Kasumi, Mariko, and Lakin, you are inside of this dilapidated home with a still unconscious Tanaka. Pez, you're still outside, kind of slowly meandering your way along or holding still, whatever you wish to do. What is everyone doing?
Walking towards the house because I'm betting somebody did something stupid.
Kasumi's hopping down to go back to Tanaka.
And you're gonna need a priest.
Mariko's
Andrea.
going over to Tanaka. And she's just like gonna cup his face and just. Well, she doesn't really know what else to do.
Wake up, fucker!
She's not gonna do that much, but it's just like the rapid plapping.
So you're just plapping his face, and Kasumi's like, "Can you heal him?"
Is he hurt? He doesn't look hurt.
I don't know. He's not awake.
If only.
Is he hurt?
Kasumi's not a doctor.
She's gonna cast first level cure wounds on him. Just boop the forehead.
It's just like, I poured a potion down his mouth. I don't know what you want me to do.
Okay, how much healing did you roll?
Oh gosh. D8. Where's my D8? There's a D8.
You say 1 point.
4 plus 5, 9 points of healing.
Yeah.
Okay. You plap his face a little bit, and Kasumi reprimands you like, "Oh yeah, I can cast magic." Boom. You pump some more healing magic into him. He still seems stable, but is not visibly responding.
Oh god. This is not good.
What if we get him outside in the sun?
I can't carry him. And she looks around and sees, like, can you carry this man?
Wait, I want to. Mariko's gonna try to put him over her shoulder.
Tanaka?
Yeah, she's gonna attempt.
Okay, make a strength check for me.
Are you gonna be a good fireman?
Well, my dice attacked me.
Is it a nat one?
Natural 20.
Oh god. Get out of it.
And he's not even conscious to see your
Finds a way.
valiant effort.
Who said loves find a way? So, Kasumi, you look over at the towering orc figure, and you begin to start asking him if he could help, and Marika goes, "Yoink, fireman's carry." Just
He stops and, oh, never mind.
she just goes full beast mode.
She is a beast, half, technically.
Zahn, right around the time that you get to the door, Moriko is coming through, shouldering with Tanaka on her back. It's kind of impressive, really.
So is he okay?
He's not awake, and she's gonna like try to, as gently as she can, just like put him on the ground.
DM, being a priest and usually being trained against the undead, would I be able to tell if he's under any sort of like undead effect because of this?
Make a religion check with advantage for me.
Naughty. Religion. That's okay. Glad you gave me advantage. That one's much better. 17.
17. It doesn't seem like he's currently under the effects of anything that's undead or spiritual related. He was definitely under such effects until very, very recently.
Okay, 1 second. I got it somewhere here. I'm gonna walk up to him and cast heal. Yeah, just straight up heal. It's 70 points of healing, and positive energy washes through the target.
Oh.
It's also ends any blind, deaf, and poisoned on him as well.
Okay.
Get rid of levels of exhaustion.
Shame it wasn't cast on Pez.
Wait, no, it doesn't do any. It doesn't do exhaustion.
I wish you did.
Nope.
So you pump heal into him. Being out in the light, you can clear. You cast heal, and having brought him out into the sunlight, you can see that he was a little bit pallid. But as Zahn just channels his divine energies into the man,
Awkward saying it, right?
well, The color does seem to come back to his face, and you begin to see signs of stirring. His hand twitches a little bit. His breathing becomes less labored. Whether that's because of the effects of heal or perhaps with the entity being destroyed, we'll say it's the heal.
Sumi's still in the hut. She's going to investigate the hut, like the latch in the floor.
Okay.
Careful, there's a xenomorph down there.
So you go to where the hatch was, and as you get closer, you in the heat of the moment, you didn't really have time to, for lack of a better word, appreciate the smell coming from it. It's not the scent of undeath. It's the scent of spoiled foodstuffs. Just general mold, mildew. It's underground, so there's any kinds of fungi and stuff growing down there just from the general aroma that's coming from beneath the floorboards there.
Okay, and she does have dark vision. Does she see
Right,
anything
you do.
else?
You see a bunch of hemp sacks that seem to be sort of decompressed slightly. You definitely see some goop on some shelves, some jars, containers. It seems like it was meant to be a underground dry store, a pantry of sorts. And judging by the general state of disrepair and neglect that this place has seen, probably whatever was left down there is now fully and utterly rotten.
Okay. And you said there was an upstairs?
There was an upstairs.
Okay. But we can't get to it because it's so dilapidated.
The stairway leading to it is just rubble.
Okay. Alright, well, she doesn't see any sign of other beings as far as she knows, so she's gonna walk out.
Lakin, is there anything that you're doing?
We'll wait until she leaves. Looking in the area, assuring myself that the spirit has been laid to rest. I will walk out. Stand a comfortable distance away from their group.
Okay. Slightly awkward to do that off the get-go, just because they are kind of crowded around the entryway. But you let yourself out, kind of, oh, sorry, excuse me, and goes stand a little bit of ways away. Sorry, Pez, you were saying something?
Well, upon seeing the massive orc, I'm gonna draw on my free hand my other handgun to where I'm like dual wielding pistols, and then I'm going to stare at him dead in the eye and speak in orc because I know that language. Who the fuck are you?
Would respond back in my native tongue. I am Lakin. I am here to ask for your help.
And with that, that's where we're going to take a quick little break.
Heck.
So, we're going to bathroom break, food, snacks, whatever we need to do. We'll be right back in just a minute to see what sort of help Lakin needs from the Tempests. So don't go too terribly far away if you don't want to miss out. We'll be back.
No.
Nope, I speak the gods in common.
I speak the gods.
Well, celestial. Celestial common.
Well, we're back.
Every language.
So, as we left off just a few brief moments ago, as Lakin comes out of the house, having helped to defeat the ghostly creatures that were haunting or possessing or whatever nastiness that they were doing, Pez decides to go full bad cop and holds 2 pistols towards their new acquaintance.
I'm gonna switch back to common so everyone else can hear. Who sent you?
Sent myself.
Pez, you knows this guy?
Nope.
Okay. So, to be fair, we usually kill first, ask questions later. But while we are here, trying to act a little, rolls his eyes. Nice. Is there a reason why you're pointing a gun at him? Of curiosity? Or, I'm sorry, 2 guns. Son adjusts to see the 2 pistols.
Look at him.
Step forward towards Pez.
I step back towards back.
And my hands like up down in front of me. This is gonna sound hilarious. I make myself look a little smaller, kind of roll my shoulders forward a little bit.
He's getting ready to charge.
Understand that you may have reservations with my kind. However, it won't do you any good with those little toys.
Agree to disagree. I have done exploratory surgery with a zombie T-Rex before. But
Pull the trigger.
Yeah, how about we not do that? Just everybody, let's bring it down a level or 2.
And I don't say that as like a threat. It's more like a let's just get this over with kind of attitude.
my hands are quivering, like visibly shaking.
I'm not like them. They are the reason that I come seeking the Tempests.
Oh, Ace.
What does they mean, them?
The other orc clans.
Oh.
I'm surprised someone isn't taken care of. Is that what's wrong with the orc clans?
It is their nature. I have a small bit, maybe ease your conscience. But it was cast aside. That casting was in the defense and life that I stand before you.
Oh, so it has nothing to do with the fell. Makes sense.
Can I do an insight check just to make sure he ain't fibbing?
Sure.
Again, it's what Pez would do.
Racist?
Look, he's a cowboy.
Sorry.
Speciesist?
Oh, good with it.
Insight is pretty high. 22.
You sense, for as calm as Lakin seems to be, there is this underlying sense of, I'm trying to think the best way to say it. Like, he definitely seems very truthful, very heartfelt, and there's this underlying sense of, like, betrayal, rage. Like, he really means what he's saying, that he's not a fan of the orc clans. Like, there's nothing that seems false about what he's telling you.
I'm going to slowly lower my guns, then just plop
I
onto
was
the
expecting,
ground.
like, I lower one of them.
Pez is still exhausted, like
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
So he's just plop dirt.
Just legs sploot, sit down. Okay.
Well,
You know my name, but I do not know yours.
Are you who are
Speaking
you
all
looking
of
at when you? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were
All
still
of
looking
you.
at Pez. Well, Zahn will look at Pez. Do you want to introduce yourself since you so really pointed a gun at him?
I'm Pez Marigold, quote unquote leader of the Tempests.
9. But I am Zahn. I am of Rogasine, and very out of place in this place. Or this country's here we're in, and Zahn will gesture to the ladies.
Mariko now has, she's sitting, like, kind of like how the Japanese would sit, or the Takatari would sit, like, on her knees.
Mhm.
And she has, Tanaka's head in her lap right now. I am Mariko. I guess resident wild child, I think is what I've been called.
As she says wild child, you see the small little moth cat poke his head out from the like her hair's kind of like a tangled mess with branches and leaves. Well, actually no, she had those cleaned out. Still a little bit messy, but the moth cat just kind of pops its head out of her hair on her shoulder.
And this is Fluff.
and I'm Kasumi.
I'm
Pleasure. But she looks at everyone in the group. Have we decided that we're not going to kill each other now? Like, is that decided? Like,
Then were we supposed to kill each other?
well, I'm just.
When was I informed of this? You'll draw a sword. It's still got a holy weapon on it. I'll kill anybody. Some of the nonchalantly put his sword in. Nah, I'm just screwing.
Okay, because we do still have to kind of get something done. That's somewhat of a time-sensitive thing, and that we've spent a lot of time sitting here standing on the side of the road now.
I will aid you in your cause.
Lake, and you also, as they're all introducing themselves to you, you notice that every single one of them has a very similar metal collar around their neck that has runic inscriptions on them. Tanaka and Fluff do not have those collars.
I can read all writing. What do the runes say?
They're magical inscriptions. Basically, like very, very loosely translating to those under this or wearing this collar will obey all rules given to them under painful punishment.
You are serving a sentence, it seems.
Yes, and so if you don't mind, we should probably all get back to the cart and get him, and she points at Tanaka, who is still unconscious in Mariko's lap. Get him on the cart. I know he's probably not going to be thrilled about it, but
If
we
you
got no
want,
choice.
help me get him up onto the bench with me. That way he's
Okay.
outside and not as fussy.
Okay.
That's it. Particularly don't care what he thinks. Kind of mood is in.
Well, we can't go without him, Zahn. How will we
Well-
explain that?
You can ride with me if you would like.
Wait, how did you get here?
How?
I snap my fingers, and a gigantic spectral horse appears behind me, made out of dark shadow.
Okay, I want one of those.
I have a feeling that that's probably not the best thing for him to see when he gets out of his unconscious state, but I appreciate it.
He doesn't react well
I
to
can keep
magical
him.
stuff.
I can keep him calm.
I'll ride with you if he doesn't.
I think it'd be best for him to go with Mariko, but I appreciate it. How long does that horse stick around?
For a while.
Okay, because we've got to make up for lost time, so we should go, and if you're not going to be inside the cart and you're going to be on that horse thing, you can ride alongside.
Move at your fastest pace.
I want
We
to go on
will
the horse.
slow down for you.
Oh, I definitely want to go on the horse now. Can I go on the horse? He's not going. I want to go.
To him, Mariko's gonna try to get Tanaka up on the bench with her.
Kasumi's gonna try to help to the best of her ability with her -1 strength.
She's basically
Reach
just like
down and-
almost putting her hands up and like,
Moral support!
Sorry, what were you saying, Lakin?
If it will aid you, I will move him.
Yes, please.
Just to the bench.
Reach my massive orc hand down, grab around his breastplate, lift him up, and then put him onto the bench.
So to kind of describe to you what the wagon looks like, it's a large 2-story structure on 4 wheels. On the one side, or on the front side of it, there's a bay window, and with what looks like the remains of... Yes, thank you. Can you send that to him directly? So he can find it quicker?
Yeah.
That actually does a much better job of explaining.
I keep
roughly
all
what
of my images saved!
So the bench that they are sitting on is up on, basically almost on the same level as the second story of the structure. There is no beast of burden pulling it. It does still have the mounting points for the I am blanking on the name of it, where the yoke would attach to that long arm. That mechanism, well, the mechanism that stretch of wood would attach to is still there, but that piece itself is missing. Before, from a distance, you had seen it moving, but you hadn't seen anything pulling it.
How quickly can you move?
Fairly quickly.
And we should move.
Yeah, I was saying that. Okay, let's go.
So, with the assistance of Lakin, perhaps, yeeting him up from below, and Mariko being, fucking the beast of a woman that she is, you're able to get Tanaka up into the bench. So Mariko's up there with Tanaka. Pez, are you going up there as well? Are you choosing a different spot?
I'll drag myself to go inside.
Okay.
And sit at the bay window.
Kasumi, is that where you're going as well?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know that Zahn was... Zahn wants to ride the horse.
Want to go for a pony ride.
Lakin, do you allow Zahn to ride with you?
As a gesture of good faith, I will allow you to ride.
Yes! Thank you.
Okay.
How big is this horse? If it's carrying him, it's gotta be fucking huge.
It's like it's like a Clydesdale.
Draft horse.
But steroids.
Bigger!
Yeah, so Zahn, for you to get around this thing, your legs are like... Nyeh.
It's an Indian style on it.
Oh, that's fair. All right. So,
this is awesome.
Lakin, as you get astride your spectral steed with Zahn behind you, Indian style on the back of it, Mariko up top, you simply hear her say, well, actually, Mariko, what do you say?
Let's go, Cassie. Full speed as you can.
She
Please.
points, and the whole mobile wagon home just begins to move forward.
She burns rubber. We fucking take off.
It takes a bit to get up to speed. It is a large structure, but it does begin to really move. The speed is comparable to what you would expect 2 to 4 of your spectral steeds would be able to pull something of that size. Like it starts to really move. And your steed lasts for an hour?
Yes.
Okay. So, is there anything anyone wants to do in this next hour stretch, or are you just goosing it?
I'm gonna talk to Lakin. Talk his ear off. Hear his story. Learn his strides.
Mariko's letting Tanaka use her lap as a pillow.
Are you petting his hair?
No, but she's making sure that he doesn't, like, with the movement of the road, just, like, flop. She, like, has a hand on him to make sure that he's steady, but that's about it.
Okay. All right. An hour passes relatively quickly, especially with the breakneck pace. The panic of that encounter probably keeping some of you with your heads on a swivel. Soon enough, the hour begins to come to an end. The spell is wearing off. What are you all doing?
Sit again.
Cast it again. Okay. Showing no signs of needing to stop, Lakin keeps on trundling along. Within the following hour, as Zahn is just chattering the ear off of Lakin, Mariko, Tanaka.
How tall are you?
I'm sorry, say again, Lakin?
Say nothing to him.
At some point, I'm going to crawl around and sit in front of him. Going to talk to me. You sitting crisscross applesauce in front of him.
Still silence?
I will put you in the pocket dimension if you do not leave me alone.
I have somewhere much scarier than that we can go.
You and I may have different definitions of terrify.
Well, okay, can you keep a secret?
I grunt.
Okay, so I'm going to take that as a yes. So, you remember, how familiar are you with the gods, of curiosity?
Quite.
Okay, so you remember a long time ago when Kadal defended the realm here against, like, a super evil creature thing? They tried to destroy the world?
Am I familiar with that?
No. He is spouting nonsense to you.
This must be something I was not privy to.
Oh, for that. Yeah, so that creature seems to be related to me in some shape or form. Or I'm related to it in some shape or form. So, like, when I banish myself, I kind of go to where it exists. Like, all the time.
And don't banish yourself.
Well, I know that, yes. But I just mean, yeah, it's kind of horrifying. Sancha says this like with a... It's not fun.
I would like to talk to you about your kobold.
Say that again?
A kobold friend.
What about him? I can tell you whatever things that I know, which is kind of... I'm semi-good at it.
It's not like what I am.
No, I think it has something to do with, like, the kobolds being, like, slaves or something in the countries that you originate from, I think. Don't quote me on that, I could be spouting nonsense, though. But I think that's, like, 90% of the problem.
Ah. Something easily remedied.
If you say so, I don't know. Pez is... I think, to be fair, I think Orcs is the only thing he's really that cautious with. If I'm being completely honest. Like, Zahn's thinking, like... No, he runs his mouth all the time when he doesn't need to. It's funny as shit.
So, orcs and bats.
Ah, yes. Oh, and bats. He does not like bats. Although I think he actually did pretty good in the last bath. But yeah, this seems about it.
Lee will earn their trust as much as I have earned yours.
Trust is a strong word. I'm trying to get your hold 1 second. Zahn just goes through the language in his head for a second. Trying to make your acquaintance.
Would it be easier if you spoke in Rokesian?
Zahn just perks his eyebrow. Really? It's been a long time. Well, yes and no. I mean, yes, obviously, speaking Rokesian is much easier for me, but Common's just fine. For the time being.
If it ever comes a time you wish to brush up on your native tongue, I can assist.
I will take you up on that. So what are you? Other than
That is a
obviously
good
it's orc.
question. I'm a little more than that, and a little less at the same time.
So I see it's like, are you blind?
Put your hand on my chest.
Son just like awkwardly puts his hand on it. Wait, you're wearing clothes, right?
No, he's been naked this
my
whole fucking
chest is-
time.
No, that's what.
My chest is open to where you can see like musculature.
Okay.
The pectoral.
Okay. I touchy. Ooh.
You feel cold clamminess on your fingers. No warmth.
I feel nothing of, are you undead?
It's complicated.
You need to be careful with spells I use around you.
You do not.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you insist.
I've been given free rein. Let
Yes.
us go.
It is a, let's say, little in between. That I'm stuck in.
So how old are you?
Very.
Have you been
Which
in
life?
Wait, what?
In which life are you referring to?
Son's just like, there's more than one? What do you mean? Like, were you not an orc before and now you're an orc? Or are you like,
I've always been an orc,
okay,
but have crossed over several times.
how?
That is why I told your friend that shooting me would solve nothing.
Okay, how can I do that to someone else? Somebody died who I don't want dead.
I don't think it's the same type of magic you are capable of.
Zahn is now intrigued. You have to tell me more about this at some point.
You should tell all of your friends.
That you're undead, but not undead. Or you can't die. Or is it when you die, you come back and you're new? You can tell Zahn's brain is starting to heat up here. The hamster's working
Spiraling.
over.
There's
Spiraling.
there's smoke coming out the ears.
Toast.
The hamster's working in overdrive and it's not going well.
We'll explain more this evening.
Yeah. And Zahn will pick himself up and sit and just look forward as we do the rest of the strip. And he's just sitting there, like, going over, just like, 1 life, 2 life, 3 life, 4, 5 life, 6 life, 7 life more.
Moriko, partway through this second hour, Tanaka stirs. He sits bolt up. He kind of like twitches a few times and then ends up sitting bolt upright and immediately spins his legs around and just holds his head in his hands and just seems to almost be trying to stop himself from dry heaving. His skin has gone a bit pale again, but he's definitely awake at this point. And he's just kind of...
She's just like, you good?
I have not felt my head willing to burst like this ever.
And what do you learn about going into strangers' houses?
He kind of looks over at you, does a double take. Where are we? And how did I get here?
Back on the road.
Why?
Remember that house you tried to go into?
Oh.
Spooky things were in there. And we saved you.
Yep, I'm dreaming. Okay. I need to lie down. And he just kind of like slumps in the bench, kind of sort of away from you this time, just like lays there. But you kind of you look over and he's not shutting his eyes, he's just laying down. And he doesn't say anything else.
She's just letting him have his moment.
Okay. Lakin, how many times are you able to cast the Spectral Steed?
I can do it one more time.
Okay. Getting on a little bit past...
Means we would have traveled 26 miles by now.
Yes. It's a little bit after midday. 3 hours having passed since you first fought these creatures. And your final casting of the spell begins to reach its close. What are you all doing?
So
We've gone 39 miles. 39 miles.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
I would say to you, Zahn,
How much further is this goal of yours?
I need to look in the cart.
Should tell them to stop then.
Well, we can get in while it goes. The door will open.
Very well.
I will pull my shadow mare over to where the entrance is.
Cassie, please open the door.
As he says this, Lakin, you see the door on the side just opens inward, and there's no one standing there.
And with
Is
perfect
it big enough
acrobatics.
for me to fit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there's room.
Brick could fit.
Yeah,
through.
Brick
He was
could
bigger.
fit.
Yeah, he was bigger than you somehow. But yeah, Zahn will just jump in.
I'll have my shadow mare jump directly at the opening, and it will dissipate as I land inside.
Okay. Mariko, you up top with the extra weight of Lakin landing on it makes it rock just a little bit. You've definitely, Cassie's definitely hit bumps that were bigger and kind of made it jostle more, but the motion kind of has you looking around. You don't see Lakin and Zahn running beside you anymore.
She's just gonna immediately assume that they went into the cart.
Under the cart, just goo, 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 goo. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Lakin, when you first step inside the wagon home, directly in front of you, to your left, is an L-shaped counter, kitchen, a brick stove, wash basin, one little window to the left in the corner. Further along the wall to your left, you see spice racks, cutlery hanging on the wall, and you see a large pantry door with a kind of accordioned doors closed on the side. To the right against the wall, you see a very large map of the world that you are aware of. There's a table between you and it with 8 chairs around it. Further to your right, you see a set of stairs that seems to go up to those front bay windows that you had seen, and it switches back going up to the upper floor. You can see the underside of those stairs going above you. The interior seems far larger than what the exterior really was. So Pez, if I'm not mistaken, was in the bay window with Kasumi.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? So the pair of you, you would hear Zahn's voice, and then the door would open, the wind kind of whistling past. Zahn hops in with no real issue, and Lakin hops in. Where Moriko had felt the wagon tipping up above, there's no sense of motion inside. It almost feels like you are stationary. So,
seeing him jump into the wagon, my heart rate goes back up to the speed of a hummingbird, which is around like 1,200 beats per minute.
Somebody playing a drum?
Are you okay? She leans over to Pez.
Nope.
I'll kill him if he tries to hurt you.
Zahn is chuckling because he can hear all of this.
I'm just vibrating subtly, but there is vibration from my heart about to explode.
Kasumi is keeping a very close eye on him, on Lakin.
Welcome to our home.
We'll sit furthest away on the kobold.
I think they're in the bay window, right?
So yeah, so any of the seats at the table would be about as far away as you can get from him.
Yeah. And I will look at the map wall. How close are we to the
lumberyard?
Yes, the sushimi place.
Yutsu
A day's
Shige.
travel, right?
Yes, that's what I said. Yutsu sushimi.
God damn it.
Oh, I hate you.
I am not from this country. It makes perfect sense.
It's not me this time.
So, looking at the map and knowing roughly where you had been the day prior, with how fast Lakin had pushed you all to go, you've made quite a bit of ground. Where Tanaka had guesstimated to be 3 to 4 days, you've now got maybe a day and a half. But at the same time, Moriko, you've heard like slight whimpers from Cassie as she's rocketing along the road. Just the general disrepair of the roadway is leaving ruts and divots that for something of that size is very, very difficult to maneuver with. She hasn't seemed comfy.
Cassie, slow down a smidge, please. Just a bit.
Okay.
And she slows down, and you said a smidge, but hearing the availability of her being able to slow down, she takes full advantage of that and goes at a much more comfortable pace where she doesn't feel like she's going to break.
Thank you for everything, Cassie.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right. What's everyone doing?
Sumi's staring at Lakin.
Motionless.
You're sitting motionless?
Yep, I'm sitting motionless with my eyes just directly facing forward.
Did anybody want something to eat? I'm going to go into the pantry.
Sumi doesn't say anything. She's just like staring at Lakin.
Me too. I'm just staring, a hand hovering over holsters, plural, all 5 of them.
So, guess I'm just gonna get food from me. Just walks over to the pantry, grabs whatever he can to snack on, and just goes and sits at the table. In the chair, so Lakin's probably sitting there, so probably one of the chairs that I can look and see Kasumi and Pez, as well as, you know, right next to Lakin.
Okay.
So, how's everyone doing? Is everyone doing okay? Fantastic. Glad everybody's doing great. So,
I'm doing okay.
oh, that's good, Cassie.
Lakin, you hear this disembodied voice. Just, it's not like in your head. It just seems to be in the room with you, but it is sourceless.
My attunement to the arcane, I'd be able to deduce that it is something involving the cart.
Fairly good deduction. You're not, I wouldn't say that you're entirely sure how, but having heard the various instructions given by Moriko and Zahn, that there is some entity that seems to be controlling the wagon. As far as how, you're not sure.
Well,
So since we
is he
have...
going to shoot me or what?
why don't you guys just get to introduce yourselves to each other, since apparently he needs our help. We're going somewhere, and he's helping. You're helping us, right? Am I crazy?
I am assisting you in your endeavors.
Yes, and then we will at some point help you with yours. Well, regardless. So would you guys like to talk it out, or...
Do you even know what you're assisting us with?
No, I do not.
But yet you agreed to.
Well, I came asking for your aid. No payment. It only makes sense that I would assist you in your time of need.
What was it you were needing our help with, by the way?
Yeah.
Is everyone where they can see me and hear me?
Moriko
Besides
is not.
Moriko.
She is up top
Okay,
on the
Moriko's
outside
not.
bench.
The wild girl. She should be present for this as well.
She's helping Tanaka.
We can always...
The human.
Yes.
Notice he did not wear a collar like the 4 of you.
But he didn't really kill a bunch of people, to be fair.
Well, before I inquire, who is your servitude? Why I seek your aid? So I'm sure it ease your small friend.
Uh-huh.
I need to strike the Orc clans. I mean to put an end to their raiding, their thoughtless violence.
Isn't that a job for Gambos?
Ambos encourages it. He is a miscreant and more.
Zahn frowns because he actually holds a lot of fucking, like, he holds a lot of respect for Gambors. Huh.
When you say, how many orcs exactly are you saying you need help fighting?
Coastal clans will be enough.
So how many is that on a scale of like 1 or 1,000? Or like...
Closer to your latter option.
Okay, I want to help.
But I mean, I don't know much about orcs and their threat, but why are you needing us to fight them?
It will be better to show you, so you may understand.
I stand up slowly, keeping my hands out wide, and I start to pull at my jacket collars to the side. You see ragged scars, dozens and dozens of scars, where it looks like I've lost limbs. A scar that runs across my neck goes all the way, and it looks like it goes through the neck.
I have those too.
I have been trying.
Sorry.
Yours were not as mine.
You can't see any of them. They're covered by fur.
Can I
Going
real
off of
quick?
what you said.
What, Pez?
I was gonna say can I real quick say Cassie, get Mariko down here.
Okay.
The voice appears beside, or comes up beside you, Mariko.
Pez says you should come down to talk to, Big Gray.
Okay.
I can
Thank
stay
you,
on the
Cassie.
road. I'll make sure he doesn't fall hard.
Okay, and let me know if anything comes up.
Okay.
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 She's gonna look to Tanaka. I have to go talk to them real quick. I will be back. Don't fall off.
He's kind of been laying on his side like this, and you just see a hand pop up, go, Like, if everyone here, well, except maybe Zahn, has been hungover, it's kind of like that. So
When I come back, I'll have you
just
some
don't want
water.
you to touch me. Don't bother me. Don't talk to me. Just let me suffer in silence for that. That kind of thumbs up. Just.
Mariko's just gonna and go inside.
Okay.
Get hungover before? Not a wuss.
Not like really hungover, like day ruining
has.
hungover. Sorry, I meant like real life. The people behind the players, not the characters. Zahn has absolutely been
have.
schmammered.
I've been drunk before, but yeah.
Anyway, a few minutes later, Lakin, you hear the footsteps coming from, with you sitting at the table staring towards the bay windows, you hear the footsteps coming from behind you towards the stairs, down and around, and here comes the brightly pink-skinned elf.
Moriko, you would come down to see that I have pulled armor off my shoulders to bare my torso, to where you see glittering chainmail underneath the coat, and I have this like gray skin with mottled, knotted scars and hairs in the muscle that are visible from the outside. Anyone's guess is how I'm standing on 2 feet.
Magic.
Oh my.
I have tried do this over decades. I've lost how long. But powerful enough to do it on my own or with those allies I have found before. I thought fighting was everything in my youth. The raid was to see the clan prosper. I did not wish to raid against non-warriors. Took a life, cast me out of my clan, from my homelands. Stand before you now. Not entirely whole. But I'm not allowed to rest until I see it through. Not say much more on the matter. Know that I may have been created by evil, but it is not my master.
Same.
I aim to help those that cannot help themselves. Just as I have heard of the tales of the Tempest. I've been tracking you from trying to find you. See if you would aid me in this just cause. I have nothing to hide from you.
As I hold my arms up, you see even more brutality across the rest of the exposed flesh.
Can I reach out my hand and gently grab Kasumi's hand, just to hold? If she'll allow.
Yeah, she doesn't fight you. Kasumi is gonna look at Lakin. Well, here's the thing. We can't exactly leave this area until we are allowed, until they take these off, and she points at the collars. So I don't know if this is something that's an urgent matter. We can't, if it's urgent, we can't really help. I do know that we will be venturing back that way when we can.
I will make a vow to you. Pledge. As long as my services are needed, it will be available to you. There is no timetable. What I must do. If I can help you, I will.
Well, since you seem to be aware of who we are and what we are capable of, then you should also know that if for any reason you decide to test our boundaries and our trust, that you will regret it gratefully.
My right hand over my chest, give a low bow towards Kasumi. And then I start putting my armor in covers over.
Kasumi kind of looks around at the other three, see if they had anything they wanted to add.
I mean, worst case scenario, we cast him out at some point. But I mean, Got me here. And I don't think he's anywhere close to as evil as the people I deal with.
I'm not very well versed in this subject, considering the only basis I have was how readily you guys accepted me. So,
I'm going to let go of Kasumi's hand, seeing that it calmed me down. My heart rate's no longer 1200, it's maybe around like 500-ish. It's gone down a little bit.
He's had at least 12 heart attacks.
At least 12. I'm gonna get up and slowly walk over towards the giant mountain of flesh.
He's walking.
Drop down to both of my knees.
You help us and we'll help you. And like what Lady Kasumi said, if you cross us, you won't be on this mortal plane no more.
Son goes
Chuckle a
to say
little bit at that.
Yeah.
Chuckle a little bit at that. Then I look you in your eyes. I swear to you that I will never put any of you at risk. I swear to you, my power is at your command. And I swear to you this, little kobold, you will call me friend. I'm
Going to tentatively hold out my hand towards him and see if he'll, like if his finger will shake.
I stick out the massive hand and just curl 3 fingers in. Give you my finger.
Welcome to the Tempests.
Pleasure to be among such warriors.
And I mean, if you mess up, then Zahn will just take you on a field trip to his realm. So, well, now that we've had that discussion.
Yeah, now that all the
Don't think they
pleasantries
understood any of that.
Oh, you'll get used to it.
I'm going to just flop down, still clearly exhausted and drained.
I guess we can inform you what we are doing. We were sent on a mission to go retrieve some very unique moss that is said to help deal with a plague that is wreaking havoc on the country. And once we have that, then we have to deliver it. And
It's localized to the Takatari region.
as far as we know, this is new. No, it wasn't like this when I was here last.
Oh. Human. Is he friend or foe? Your group.
Now that's a loaded
He's a
question.
frenemy.
he's keeping watch on us. He is a Redguard of the Shogun, and he is making sure that we stay in line.
And he must live.
For now.
Yeah, San just looks at Pez.
And as we're talking about this, Mariko is getting like a big glass of water for when she goes back up to Tanaka.
Okay.
Very well. Do any of you know the composition of this moss that you seek?
San just looks at Pez. Uh-huh. Doofy.
What? The fuck is moss?
described it. It's from a very specific species of tree that can be found at the lumberyard.
The Weeping Sequoia.
Which we have no idea what it looks like, so we're off to a great start. Well, actually, I think John
Dungeon
would know.
Master.
Yes,
Dungeon Master.
that's me.
I've been alive for quite some time. Do I know what they're talking about?
Make a history check.
I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
You must
Wee
like
wee
trees.
Ez doesn't know what moss is because he was dirt, so
There's no moss in the
You've
desert.
seen moss before.
Yeah. You just have this
Oh
strange
my god,
urge.
dude. Natural 20.
You really like trees.
I like trees.
It's an arborist 6 lifetimes ago.
That's how I got this scar. You have not personally seen one, but you have heard of them. The sequoia trees of the Takatari region are known worldwide. They are gigantic, towering trees that are famously used to build all of the structures in Takatari to basically build and maintain their naval fleet. Their navy is one of the biggest, largest, and best in the entire world because of the sheer abundance of lumber that's around. Zon, yours is very, very fierce manpower, but as far as like actual ships, your ships don't compare. Yours are small and light. You dump all your people onto other ships and you murder everyone. It's not the same.
No, I'll still disagree. You may be right, but I'm saying no.
The weeping sequoias are not terribly rare, but they're very, very few in very specific locations. They're around the foot of the mountains in the Yutsushige region, where glacial or mountain water runs down the mountain and essentially flows through the roots of the sequoia tree, thus the weeping sequoia. It comes out the other side, leaking and seeping, and that is what feeds the moss. The purer water from the mountain runoff going through the roots of the tree is what grows this very, very specific moss species that is very, very well known for its purity and the restorative healing properties of it. So you have a general idea of it'll be by the mountains and water running from there, but you don't know the Takatari region much at all to be able to say, oh, we need to go here.
Wow. Is your... I don't know what to call him. What is the human's name?
Tanaka.
Is the Tanaka aware of where you need to go?
Yes.
Is he a warrior?
Yeah.
Yes, Van Bem Tamarans. I'm very aware of where you need to go.
I will see him, if you will allow it.
He's
Understand.
not doing too hot right now.
That is why I wish to see him.
Okay.
No
He
one
might.
understands death like me.
Well, he might not be the easiest to communicate with right now. He almost died, and he's kind of fussy.
Wait, Kasumi, remember how I acted after I had all that alcohol? And
Uh-huh.
He's like that right now.
Yes, and I had to force water into your mouth.
That's why I got this. She's holding up the big glass.
I could
May
bring
have
him
been
down.
cursed by the entity.
What did you say, Pez?
I was just saying I could bring him down.
Bring him down or take him down?
Did I stutter?
Okay, sorry. Lakin.
You're alive. You're coming with me.
She looks at Mariko. Is he awake? Like, is he conscious?
He is, but he's not happy.
Well, we
Yeah, he
could
wants-
try to convince him to come down.
It
So
might
we can
be
get better
better if
treatment?
we go up, if that's okay.
Okay. Then I'm gonna let you guys go. I don't think he wants to see most of us right now. Even though we just saved his life.
What? Your country, Kasumi. I'm very happy you are such a nice person because, to be completely honest, this country sucks.
Well, am I a nice person? Are you sure?
Yes. You
Other
can be
than lying
more.
to me, yes.
It says that you can be more stubborn than me, but I think you're in general a pretty nice person.
She turns to Mariko. There was a very specific reason for that, and that's the only reason I would ever lie to you.
Actually, you lied to all of us.
Yes, for a very specific reason.
Rika's just gonna start heading up to where Tanaka is. She like looked to Lakin and just
You are lucky that I have a large amount of sympathy for you, because if not, I would be giving you a very strong talking to.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Could it be?
But
who? Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I'm going to descend through the floorboards and like wiggle my way up through and stick my snoot through the cushion and just like whisper into Tanaka's ears, prepare for trouble.
I'd make it double.
I don't like this cart.
He's not gonna like me either.
I just see the little
Prepare for trouble.
Mariko's gonna lead Lakin out to Tanaka. She's gonna go and just like sit beside him and hand him the big glass of water.
Okay. So, Lakin, as she leads you up the switchback stairs, up in the bay window area, there's bookshelves on either side of the window with two very tall-backed, very, very comfortable-looking chairs, which one of them at least looks like it would be able to fit you very comfortably. Going up the opposite way to the second floor, there are two doors on either side of you. Both of them are shut. Going further along, there's a little alcove on your left with a small little like shuttered window above what looks like a shrine to Shenshei. A very beautifully carved wooden sculpture of the deity. One of the best that you've probably ever seen apart from like a major temple. Passing by there are two more doors, one on your left and one on your right. At the far end of the hallway, there is a spiral staircase that Mariko leads you up through. Getting to the top of there, you see is the it leads you out into the turreted portion at the back of the wagon that you had seen, and Mariko, hikes a leg over the side, walks across the roof, over the little hump, and then to the front where she's able to get to where Tanaka is now once again sitting with his head in his hands. Excuse me. And seems to just be kind of rubbing the sides of his temples. So, Mariko, you got there first.
Wait for
sorry,
Mariko to do her thing.
Mariko's gonna like very like holding the big glass in one hand, very gently take one of his hands and put it on the cup.
Thank you. And he starts to drink, and it looks like he might be about to stop, and then he just kind of keeps going back and back and back and back. He gets about half of it gone before he kind of has to like stop and like gasp for air. I have not felt like this ever.
Doesn't look fun.
Sorry, say again?
Doesn't look fun.
No. Normally something like this comes after fun. Where is my pack?
Mm.
You make a small noise and he just...
I'm sorry.
So dumb.
We were so worried about making sure that you were okay.
I am grateful. That would have been a grisly end. And he just
Although-
starts to drink the water again.
Someone who helped us save you would like to examine you.
You see him sit more upright, and he kind of turns more in his seat to look at you. Examine me how?
And she just looks to Lake and just like, help.
Whoa!
Step into the space.
Hello?
Or a soldier, yes?
Yes.
Why do you smell of fear?
Get fucked.
You were very big. And I don't have a whole lot of trust for... He kind of glances at Mariko. Them, at the time being. I don't know if they informed you, as you seem to not know who I am. They murdered quite a few of my friends in recent
Mariko
days.
visibly wilts.
It was me. I did it.
So you will excuse me if I see another one of their friends that's helping.
That's what?
More of an acquaintance.
I arrived to see you sitting lackluster and still, at the whim of a creature that was going to take your soul. You have nothing but gratitude to give these people.
At this point, Mariko
Speak.
has just like started hugging her body and her gaze is down.
He sits there for a moment, and as you tell him to speak, he doesn't make eye contact. He just kind of keeps sipping the water for a second. And looks at you, Mariko. Thank you. And he turns and looks up at you, Lakin. Thank you.
Tell me what you are feeling.
Like my head wants to split open like a crushed grape.
This is color and complexion.
Getting a little better. Still
A little better.
You hadn't really seen him beforehand to be able to compare, but knowing general fleshy human beings, he's not ghastly pale, but he's definitely, the color's kind of coming back. It's been a few hours since it's happened. He's getting some water in him. Might need some food eventually. But he's gonna be fine.
You are not cursed.
I would argue...
Oh, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, get fucked. But
Do not understand your meaning. Please explain to me.
Yeah, he's not wearing a collar.
He hands the mug to Moriko and kind of steeples his fingers, and he kind of looks forward. These Tempests, I had heard good things, great things. They came to my country to fulfill a quest from Kasumi, someone I idolized and looked up to. in the process of fulfilling said quest, instead of obeying the laws and commands of those in charge of this lovely, he kind of looks around at everything, dynasty, they decided that their way was the correct way, and those that would keep the peace and uphold the law were in their way.
It's true.
Killed quite a lot of my friends, acquaintances, fellow guardsmen, then ran away. Only for the
Tale
fox to
is
come
better.
back and try to do things her way. And then they were captured, brought before the Shogun to receive their punishment that I so hoped that they would receive and be stuck under a mountain for at least a decade. But no, instead, they were given a task that the Shogun did not wish to put upon his own people, and then placed me in charge of making sure they survived. Now, as much as I wish, and he kind of looks at Mariko,
She's still looking down and hugging herself.
harm upon most of them, I cannot nor will I disobey my Shogun's orders. While they must obey any orders that I give them, I will not, in good conscience, give them something that cannot be completed or will intentionally put them in harm's way. To put a long story short, I do not wish to be here.
Fair.
Does that answer your question, I'm sorry, I don't believe I have introduced myself. I am Riku Tanaka, Redguard of Chonsu. Hello.
I'm Laken. Your words, the ring of a one-sided truth. Tell me. For it sounds as if, when approached, these Tempests were surrounded by your friends, and would not pack a tribe defend its own. The very last.
Two problems with your assumption. One of them being that they were in possession of an item that belongs to the Shogun. Secondly, there was no harm that was going to be done to them. If they were to have been attacked, I of course would at least somewhat understand. My brethren and myself were ordered to apprehend, not to harm, so that we could detain and reclaim the item that belonged to the ruler of Takatari.
This item. Was it stolen by the Tempests?
That question is a bit muddy.
Oh. Don't want to talk about the framing, huh?
The one Kasumi, from my understanding, was somehow tied into this medallion of the Shogun's disappearing. And as the local rumors say, she was banished, exiled, however you wish to say it, to go and reclaim it and bring it back. To supposedly prove her innocence, or to just leave the country and never return. She returned with the item. She was asked to give the item She did not. Murder happened. Now I'm here.
Interesting. Very interesting.
God, I wish I was there. Hearing this asshole, you asshole.
All that I wish at this current point in time is to get to Yutsushige, send them into the Sequoia Forest to find whatever it is that they need, get back to Kudong Harbor to hopefully expeditiously help my countrymen, and then get back to Chunsu and hope that I can just, and he claps his hands, dust my hands of them, never see them again, and they can be someone else's problem, is my hope.
One's honor comes to question. It raises many issues with oneself and one's spirit. I would wager that you do not know the full measure of those that you find in company. And perhaps for the faults that are known, there are greater triumphs behind them. I would ask that you think on these words before giving up so completely. Or as I stated previously, you would not be here if it were not for them. I bid you good day, and I give him a traditional Takatari bow, and then leave.
Tanaka folds his arms, leans back in the bench, and just stares straight ahead. So, what is everyone doing? Mariko's having a
Mariko's
little...
gonna wild shape
go
into
ahead.
a hawk and
Oh.
just fly up into the air and just keep up with the cart and just circle.
Okay. Kasumi, Pez, you guys are still in the front bay window?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Eventually... sorry, Zon, where were you at? What are you doing?
I was downstairs waiting for everybody to come back down.
Okay.
I wasn't needed, so I was like, I guess I'll just stay here.
Okay.
Hello.
Lakin does come back down after his conversation. Kasumi and Pez, with the pair of you being by the front window, you would have heard mumblings of conversation between the large orc and Tanaka. There was a few words from Moriko, and then she kind of went completely radio silent. The conversation stops. Lakin comes down the switchback staircase. What is everyone doing?
Sumi's just silently looking out the window, with her knees tucked up to her chest.
So, does everything go okay up there?
Naka not suffering from a curse.
Oh, so that's good.
Animosity builds into the hearts of those it is like a cancer. Trust me on this.
I find this country very hypocritical. Zan just points at Kasumi. He's like, she's framed for something she didn't do. They banish her. They keep her banished. Turns out it's not hers that does it. They don't admit their faults or their wrongdoings because, well, why would they? The Shogun is too apparently good to be wrong. And then, to be fair, she was quite stubborn in what she was doing, but was the right reasons in my opinion. And then treated her like trash when they should be apologizing for the situations they put her in. And then, yeah, and then where's the bad guys for defending ourselves when we were, I think they said something about taking us. I don't remember how that worked, but there were a lot of them and a few of us, and I'm sorry. I am from Rokusin. I fight first, I ask questions later.
Naka said much of the same.
Oh, did he admit that Kasumi was framed?
He said that the waters were muddy. It came to the item in question.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the Shogun should be kissing her fucking boots. But, unfortunately, he seems to be the ruler of this country, and I cannot, unfortunately, punch him in his big, stupid lion, tiger...
Tiger tabaxi.
Tiger face. Yet.
You Rokusans are very emotional people.
Yes! Especially when we've been framed for things we don't do. Like burning down prisons.
I recently listened to that podcast, buddy.
Yes. Yes. So, we can get a bit emotional. But, usually for the right reasons, usually. Not all of the time. Within reason.
Linger on these past pains. Nothing but fester an old wound.
Well, no, to be completely honest, I usually just live in the moment. But that when it comes up. It's okay, I'm a priest though, I get over it.
Maybe it is not yourself, but others that you should concern with.
What?
Your allies.
Uh-huh.
A wild girl.
Yes.
She is defeated.
When did she lose a fight?
You cannot look the man in the face as I spoke with him.
Ah,
Your words dropped her guard.
She has the feeling of guilt. Something I severely lack.
Me.
Guilt comes for us all.
Well, so far I've had a horrible experiences in this country, so I'm hoping that we finish what we need. Redeem Kasumi in whatever ways that we can, and... leave.
It will happen.
Oh, yes. I will make sure of it. How you holding up, Kasumi?
She was silently listening to your conversation.
Wasn't being quiet.
Right, but she wasn't making any verbal responses per se. She even barely made any visual responses to what you said. Just like a slight twitch of her eyebrow. She just looks back at Zahn and she's like, I'm just watching till we get there.
Yes. See, unreasonable feelings of guilt.
I get that there's more than guilt there.
It's not just... Is there?
She just turns to look back out the window. She doesn't say anything else.
People are complicated. Where is Magnus? Zahn goes looking for Magnus.
Magnus is where you left him up in the spare room.
Ah, yes. I go get Magnus and bring him back down, and then I pet
Probably
him.
hitting his face against a wall somewhere.
The
Listen
bed that
here,
was in,
window looker!
the bed that was in there, one of the legs is discolored from the slime of him just gumming it.
Oh, but you hungry? Come here. Just picks him up and just goes back down into the foyer. I think I said that right. And then just relaxes with Magnus, enjoying his time, petting him.
Okay. Is there anything anyone else wants to do?
No.
Okay. As the day goes on, Mariko, you're still kind of keeping pace with the wagon, keeping a much further eye out with your higher vantage point. Mid-afternoon, getting on into the evening, the sun is beginning to dip. You see what seems to be an end to the road, where you had been traveling quite a ways, covering a lot of distance, keeping up with Lakin. You see the road, how it dead ends, and it seems it goes far off out into the distance to the left, to the right, the north and the south. And that's where we're going to end for tonight. So thank you all so much for joining us, for Lakin being part of this and having a pretty badass character here.
Yes.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
When it's
Can
in
we play
Discord, we're
again?
lonely.
I want to play more.
We will be back in
Indeed.
2 weeks to do our next session of Tales of Archeron to see how this adventure goes on further. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you the next time we go live. Have a great week, a great weekend. Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Night.
Thanks for listening to the Fools and Flagons podcast. If you enjoyed this past adventure of the Tales of Archeron, you can catch us live on Fridays at twitch.tv/Fools and Flagons.